Jay Thomas, best of regurgitation.
I heard from you for the first time in 3 days. I didn't like anything that you had to say. You're treating this like a child game, but I won't be played. 'Cause when you break it down, you are the one to blame.
This is a listener song sent in to jthomas.com. Turn it up. Parker House.
From the start, how'd you ever let it go this far? No, you don't care to go. No, you don't care to run the show. But you're gonna let me down, like I know you're gonna do. No, you don't care to go. You don't care to run the show. But you're gonna let me down. You're going out to do with you.
Sounds like Tenacious D. Does it? This is the band Parker House and Theory. Is that right, Garrett? And Marco sent it in. What area of the country are they from, Sean? Where are these guys from?
They're from Boston.
Really good, guys. Really good. So if you're in the Boston area, you see Parker House and Theory. Play them. Tell them you heard about them on the Jay Thomas Show. Go to parkerhouseandtheory.com.
Yeah, and also if you go to MySpace and do a search on them, Jay, they got some really excellent videos on MySpace.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. That's cool.
Why don't you find out where they're playing and promote them?
They can... You know what? I mean that. Good point. You can send us where you're playing. We know how tough it is to get, anything going. I got my son JT out there working his ass off, writing and singing and selling songs and all that stuff, and it's tough. So turn this up. I'll a little harmonica. Wow. I'm impressed. That's great. Way to go, guys. Wow, Parker House and Theory. Okay. Add them to the, the folks that we play, too, as our in and out. That's good. That's good stuff. You know who's going to send us a song? Who said he was, and you should email him, too. Didn't Montel Williams say he wanted to send us a song, too, Sean, to see how we liked it?
Yeah, that's right. We never did get anything, though.
Have Art email him, or if you have that phone number left over or something. I'd love to see what that Montel Williams, I'd love to hear his his song. I know. I don't want to make fun of the man. He's supposed to be a friend of mine. Alan of, where are you, Vernon? Where are you from? Vernon?
Yeah, Vernon. It's in British Columbia.
In British Columbia. Hey, who was that hockey player that just signed to stay 12 years with one team for $73 million in Canada? Who is that?
I don't know, Jay. I don't give a shit about hockey.
You don't? Yeah. You're a Canadian? Oh, Heinrich Zetterberg. Oh, he's a Detroit Red Wing. I'm sorry. Heinrich Zetterberg. I like that. He signed for 12 years. Said he has no interest in going anywhere. Can you imagine what it would be like to have $73 million in Detroit?
In Detroit, yeah.
Jeez.
You're basically the king.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to, you never, your great-grandchildren don't have to work as long as you live in one of the housing areas. Yes, Alan of Vernon. Go ahead, sir.
Honored to talk to you, Jay. Rodney, what was your serial killer story Jay was supposed to remind you about? Guy in Bay Harris.
Honestly, Alan, it will be told. It's a really long story, and I'm going to have to digest it. And I don't want to tell long stories.
Did you meet a serial killer? I don't know what. We had a guy on.
Better than that. Better than that.
You were strangled by a serial killer? You escaped?
You know what? When I tell you, Alan and Jay and everyone else, when I tell you this story,
right,
you won't believe me. I'll leave it at that.
Well, can we make a time? Lisa Lampanelli will be here maybe at the top of the hour. Will you tell us your story?
Yes, if you'd like, that'd be great.
Now, is it a story you think that I'm going to be interested in, or will I find it to be bottomless like so many of your other stories?
Everyone in the audience will be on their edge of their seats. Garrett will love it. Sean will love it.
Really?
And you'll be jealous.
I'll be jealous of the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Will it match my ghost stories that I'm going to tell on the biography channel?
Match it in what?
Hey, that sounded like the ghost that I heard, by the way. That little laugh.
Match it in what?
I don't know. You know, in excitement. You know. No? All right. All right, Alan, he'll do it at the top of the hour. Okay?
Very nice.
All right. Nancy Cartwright, who was the actress who voices Bart Simpson. Now, years ago in L.A., she came on and did our show, and Nancy Cartwright's voice is Bart Simpson. She can act like she might add some energy to it, but if you speak to Nancy Cartwright, she sounds exactly like Bart Simpson. And I remember we called her house, to get her to come on the show or whatever, and her message, everything else was Bart Simpson. So she has also given upwards of $25 million to Scientology. Recently, she used the Bart Simpson voice. She called up as Bart on an automated phone call promoting a big Scientology event in Hollywood and asking people to join Scientology and to join them for this event. Fox sent her a cease and desist that she's not allowed to. Do we have the message? Yeah. Do we have the message that she sent? I'd like to hear it.
This is Bart Simpson. Just kidding. Don't hang up. This is Nancy Cartwright, and this is a very special phone call to you. I'm now auditing on new OT7 and have been asked to speak at the Flag World Tour event on January 31st in the Grand Ballroom at the Hollywood and Highland Center at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be a blast, man. I will be there to share my many wins as a solo NOS auditor and to see the Golden Era film presentation of Flag, the Mecca of Technical Perfection. I hope you can make it, man. To confirm for the Flag event, please call us back at 888-841-7131. That's 888-841-7131. See you there, man.
All right. And Fox told her to cease and desist. Now, what does that mean, Rodney? She's a audit something 7. What is that? What the hell does that mean? Does anybody know?
I have no idea.
It's some level of, and then when you get high enough, the spaceship comes to get you. Now, we know all this stuff. I think, if Bart Simpson called me at the house, do we have Fred Flintstone recruiting anybody? Do we have?
What is he recruiting for?
It's getting dark. What do you want?
Would you like your dinner served in front of the TV when you get back?
Okay, that way I can listen to the news while I eat instead of reading the paper.
Sounds like they're trying to recruit for Hellenic Reconstruction.
All right. Bugs Bunny for PETA. Do we have Bugs ready to go? We have Bugs Bunny.
No Bugs.
No Bugs?
No.
Roger Rabbit?
No, we have Hank Hill, though.
Coach used to say something that would fire us up when we were behind.
Yeah? What?
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you shouldn't be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby! Baby want a bottle? A big dirt bottle?
Now, what would he be raising money for?
Baby want a dirt bottle.
What would he be raising money for? That was one of your favorite shows.
It's such a shame it's off the air.
Yeah.
I believe that is for the Methodist Propane group.
Methodist Propane.
All I could come up with.
Thank you.
Right.
Starbucks said that it's going to stop brewing decaf afternoon, and it will save $400 million by September.
But isn't that when people drink decaf, is later on in the day?
No, they drink it for that pick-me-up at like 2 o'clock.
Decaf doesn't pick you up.
No, it really doesn't. You know, I feel the same way you do. I can drink a regular cup of coffee.
They should stop selling decaf in the morning. Because who the fuck buys decaf in the morning? Only idiots.
I have no idea.
It's like drinking non-alcoholic beer. Get some water, asshole.
They're going to save $400 million.
Starbucks is.
Starbucks, and they're going to stay. Now, here's the other thing. The beans are going to go bad, or they're going to get stale or whatever. So they're now looking to sell all of these, millions of pounds of decaffeinated coffee beans. And they're closing 300 stores, and they're going to get rid of 7,000 employees. I would like to buy those beans and open a place called Drowsy's, where you just come in and you have a nice cup of coffee. It doesn't make any difference to me whether it has decaf or caffeine. Does it make a difference to you? Do you get affected by it? I don't. I could drink it at midnight, still go to sleep. How about if they stop selling those the CDs? Does anybody buy those with any regularity? The music that they sell in that place? I don't know. Did you see Juan Valdez was washing dishes in Santa Barbara, by the way, Rodney? If you saw that.
You have to let him go.
That's right.
Him and his donkey.
Even though he's famous. Yeah. Yeah. He's, famous guy. This is one I've never heard before. The guy.
Hold on. We're not done with Starbucks.
Really? We're not?
No, we're not.
Well, I have nothing else.
Well, where does the name Starbucks come from, Jay?
It comes from a musical, doesn't it? I don't know the musical.
It comes from the movie, or the book and the movie.
What?
Moby Dick, does it not?
Does it come from Battlestar Galactica?
No. You're an idiot.
There's Starbuck in there.
But that comes from...
Sean, type in Starbuck. It comes from a musical. It comes from a musical or Music Man or something like that, doesn't it? I don't think it comes from Moby Dick. Who was Starbuck?
You idiots! It comes from Moby Dick.
That's Starboard. That's Starboard.
Starbuck. God.
That's the right side of the ship.
You know what? You had the right instincts, Jay. We should have moved on. You guys don't know shit.
Sean, is there a Starbuck in Moby Dick? I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's a group named Starbuck.
Oh, I love that group.
Yeah, they did Moonlight Feels Right.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I love them. So.
Starbuck is the young first mate of the...
Pequod.
Pequod, yeah.
What's the Pequod?
It's the fucking boat. Move on.
Well, excuse me. We're not at the library, apparently, reading Moby Dick.
That's a pretty eclectic book there, Moby Dick.
I know Ishmael.
Yeah, Ishmael.
Well, it's too bad. You know what? They laid Ishmael and Ahab off today. They just got
thank
both
you.
There
Finally.
You go. Thank you.
Okay, now we can move on.
They got rid of both of them.
Yeah. I saw Queequeg in the unemployment line.
Who's Queequeg? It's Queeg.
You hear that laughing?
That's the Indian guy.
That's someone intelligent, Jay, laughing. Someone read
Boy,
the
I'll
book.
tell you, you must have stayed up late trying to say things that you knew that I wasn't prepared for.
Dude, when did I say Queequeg this morning?
I didn't get it then. I didn't get it.
You did.
I didn't know what you meant. I was very sleepy.
And I laughed my ass off.
I let it go. Yeah.
Queequeg.
Hey, aren't you one of the guys that voted for the individual stock market accounts and Social Security? Didn't you do it? Yeah, I just want to tell you right now that thank God that didn't work out.
Yet yet somehow the government allows us to do our own 401k and IRA retirement accounts. I mean, there's much more at stake with an IRA account.
All right,
shouldn't the government take that over?
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think they should. I don't think individuals should be able to say where their money is invested.
Yeah,
I mean, your IRA is your retirement, Jay.
Right.
I think the government.
I don't have an IRA
because the government is so good at investing in stuff.
Do you know that I'm not allowed?
Efficient, and they make so much money. They turn a profit every year, Jay. That government, that's where it's at.
I am not allowed to have an IRA, and millions and millions of people
because you incorporate for a tax
right.
dodge, and you've got a SEP IRA. You liar.
Hold on a minute. Another check is going to the government.
You've got a SEP IRA, and you know
another $1,000. This time it's going to go to the FBI, and I'm going to put a tag down there.
You know what they should do, Jay?
Right.
Instead of doing a background check on me, they should do a foreground check on me.
I'd like a foreground check done on a Rodney Lee Conover. He's got the typical 3 assassins' names.
Yes.
I think you'd want to check him right there.
You know what? That dovetails into my story about the serial killers.
Earl of Ohio, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Earl, how are you? Lisa Lampanelli is on the way. So excited that we have a black president because she thinks black guys are it. That's all she cares about, and so this is going to, relaunch her career. Yes, go ahead, Earl of Ohio.
Okay, I got the solution to the problem about the virgin. Could you not get a gynecologist to check her and he determined that she's a virgin? Now, I don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
But
I have an answer. Earl, I have the answer.
No, wait a minute. Get the Surgeon General from the Republican Party to certify the gynecologist, and that way everyone in America would know that it's true.
I can give you 2 words that will tell you that it's not true. You ready?
Yeah.
Dennis Hoff. Or you can put in scum bag. Okay? You can add any. Here's the thing. If she's used a vibrator, if she's put in a dildo, it has the same effect as a guy going inside of her. So she could be an equipment. She could have messed her virginity up with equipment. Riding a horse will do it. I mean, this is true. And so it's the hymen. If the hymen was in place, the thing that have you ever been with a virgin, Earl?
No. And so they couldn't determine that any real sausage was in there?
No, you cannot. Sausage? No, you cannot. Yeah. Now, I happen to have a plastic cup in front of me, and for those of you who are going, what is this hymen that he's been talking about? Well, it's a membrane. It's a membrane that basically must be burst, almost like the opening of a package, before the delightful, help me here, Rodney, with some colorful words, the delightful freshness, what do you call it? On the other side, it's like opening sesame, right, Rodney? Something like that. It would be, and when you get to it, I want you to, here you go. So this is the, wait a second, hold it. This is the top of the plastic cup. And what Rodney and I were saying, and for those who know, and it was the woman I was with was a dancer. I was crazy about her. She was crazy about me. We tried it a couple of times, and I just did not want to find out how hard I had to push or what I had to do. It just, it just didn't seem right. And I told her, let somebody else do this and then, come back. But you literally hit this hymen thing, right? And then from what I understand, blood comes after it. And then, of course, here's the sound that I use this cup quite often in my discussions. I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. Here we go. Look.
Oh, wait a minute. The blood thing's not.
And then you break, wait a minute. And you break through the hymen.
So, Jack,
that's how it works. Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
So you're telling me that scientifically and medically,
you can't tell.
No,
can't tell.
So then,
I just felt really dirty because I took a sip of the tea after I did that bit. I feel as though I've done something really dirty just now.
The whole premise of the thing is a bunch of bullshit. I mean, it's just like a politician promising you something.
That's exactly right. A politician promising you something.
Well, then, see,
Except, wait a minute. A politician screws you. That's the difference.
Well, not really. I mean, you do whatever. It's America. We're starting to go down the toilet, and people need to accept that. And you have a great show, and I've been hearing some stuff over the computer, internet stuff, that you're actually a shitty golfer is what I've been hearing. So,
now, you know what, Earl, I don't know. Listen, Earl, I didn't know what you were going to say. I thought you could have said shitty announcer, bad actor, anything. I could take it. But don't start with the golf.
Oh, okay, free time. Come to Ohio. I've talked to you before. Come to Bridgeview. It's a little 9-hole golf course.
Uh-huh.
I'll play against you, and I get the sweatshirt, hooded, zippered sweatshirt that you promised me one time over a phone call, which ended up being a lying sack of bullshit.
We don't have those. We don't have those.
Well, yeah.
We're out of those. I promised you a hoodie for playing golf with you.
No, over another thing, let's give him a gift, and you said go on there and pick it. So anyhow, I didn't get it. I called you back another time.
Sean, did I promise him some sort of a shirt, Earl of Ohio? All right. Give Earl a shirt. Give him a Power of the Punani shirt.
No, I want the sweatshirt that says J. Thomas.
I don't have a sweatshirt that says J. Thomas.
Yes, you do.
Shut up, I don't have. That's expensive. That'll cost like $40. I'm not buying that for you.
$20.
Well, it's a big, we've got a recession going. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, well, this was 3 fucking years ago when you were really popular.
All right. That's it. You know what, Garrett? Put him on hold. Get rid of him.
I've been drinking some wine today.
Really? You're kidding. Hey, Rodney, he's been drinking some wine today.
I never liked your TV shows. I mean, them shows were stupid, but it wasn't about you. Okay? It wasn't about the actor. But I'm a long-time radio listener because I used to drive a truck for 30 years. That's the only entertainment you ever got. You, I'm not trying to be a kiss ass or nothing, but you are an excellent entertainer. All of you. Even though
you're talking like I'm dead, Earl. You sound like a drunk at a funeral, you know. It's like you're spilling beer over my coffin, for God's sakes. You know.
What's wrong with that? I mean,
people
who do good jobs sometimes have to be told. Most guys in the country, they don't tell their friends or their entertainers how great entertainers they are. They don't tell one another that. They suck it up and go to work and shit. I'm laid off right now. I mean, All
right, Sean, send him the sweatshirt. He's laid off. Life sucks. At least let him know that there's somebody that cares.
It doesn't suck because I can't.
Wait a minute. Your life doesn't suck?
No. Well,
okay, hold on. Sean, forget the sweatshirt.
You know what? That's not what I'm pushing for. I can't have a cable TV, so I listen to satellite radio.
Do you realize, Earl, that you are loaded and that you have been drinking wine and you are hanging on the phone with us and you are just this kind of, sodded out guy? You've got to get a hold of yourself, Earl. You got to get a hold of yourself. We can't let this go on. We can't have just a drunk call up and continue babbling like this, okay?
I'm not babbling. I'm having fun.
I know.
And I'm being a little bit entertaining, too.
You are being a little entertaining. Can we let Lisa Lampanelli come in here? Do you mind?
Yeah, she's great. I actually seen her on something on the computer for the first time. And, I've heard her on...
You know what, Earl? Let's continue this off the air. We'll be back with Lisa Lampanelli. Go ahead, Earl. I'm listening.
Jay Thomas. The Jay Thomas Show. It's the afternoon drive show. Indeed. Sirius XM 104. And on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
We have people on here sometimes, and yes, they're offering you something, but this so-called virgin who's selling it at the Bunny Ranch, we don't believe. Listen to it on the Jay Thomas Show and see what you think. Natalie, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. Rodney Lee Conover is here. How are you, Natalie?
I'm very well. How are you?
So now you're 22, and, we've spoken to Howard about you, seen you on television and everything else. When's the deadline for this virginity sale?
There is no deadline. Mr. Hoff with the Bunny Ranch, he's left it completely open to whenever I say.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, you've had some sex. You've had like heavy petting or oral sex or something. You just haven't been entered.
Right. I'm selling vaginal intercourse. I've made it very clear with the men participating in the auction, and they completely understand. So, I'm not completely virginal, but if you define being a virgin as sexual vaginal intercourse, then yes.
Okay.
Have you done that other input? You made it very clear, vaginal. You said that twice.
I'm selling one thing. So
I know. But we were asking, what have you done besides that? You seemed to be a little overboard when you said the word vaginal. I have not had vaginal intercourse.
Oh, okay. I see.
Now, did you work at the Bunny Ranch before this all started?
No. What would I have done?
I don't know.
Well, we can name.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We can name.
See, off the top of my head here. Let's see.
Yeah. Now the thing is, so you announced it on like Craigslist, and then Dennis Hoff contacted you at the Bunny Ranch.
No. There's reports I did this on eBay, and just for people's safety, if someone wants to emulate this, you can't post it on eBay or Craigslist or anything like that. You'll go to jail. That's soliciting sex on the internet. I went straight to Dennis. Of course, I'd seen the show and I was very familiar with the brothel. So when I got the idea and I knew I wanted to do it, I just sent him an email, just like any other girl would who wanted to work there. And I heard back from him the next day.
Now, how does it make you feel that most people say, you're turning yourself into a whore, and even though it's going to be a lot of money and everything else, it's prostitution. I mean, legal prostitution, and that will be a stamp on you, the rest of your life.
Right. Well, it really comes down to a moral debate. Obviously, this, it's not a legal issue because I am going through a legalized brothel. Mm-hmm. And, what people don't understand is I'm not throwing away my own morals. Of course, when I was a lot younger, I didn't foresee myself taking this route, as I'm sure most young girls don't. But I never looked upon it in a negative light. I never, I didn't really understand why the exchange of sex for money was, seen as the scum of the earth. So really, I'm staying true to myself. And, even if I did this or I didn't do this, I'm always the girl who thinks prostitution is acceptable. And for all the money in the world, I wouldn't throw away my own morals or compromise my morals. I wouldn't kill someone. I wouldn't hurt someone for $100 million. It's something I'm very comfortable with.
You don't have to go through with this, do you?
No, actually, I don't.
You have no obligation, do you?
No, I don't.
And you're never really going to do this, are you?
It's very up in the air, obviously. No, hear me out.
We don't lie on this show. What about your morals?
No, I'm not lying. Okay, no, hear me out. When I first announced adoption, how in the world could I anticipate it would grow this big and bring me all these opportunities? But as a capitalist, and I'm trying to play very smart from a business.
You got a lot of other opportunities. I understand.
Exactly. I'm trying to be okay.
But you're never really going to go through with the final payment.
Why do you say that? I don't know why you would say that.
I'm asking her, Jay.
She is going to go through with it.
Why would you answer, Jay? It's her question.
It's very...
Hey, Rodney, you know what? Do they sell My Doll in your neighborhood?
But you're answering for her. She's the guest. I asked her a pretty interesting question, don't you think?
And you're running out of air. You're so upset. Go ahead. Yes, Natalie. Is there any chance you won't go through with it?
Yeah, of course there is a chance. Like I said, I'm not contacted.
If the guy is ugly? If the guy is gross looking?
Period. You're not going to go through this.
Would you do it on your period?
Oh, wow. But anyways, like I was saying, I'm trying to be very business savvy about this, and different people have approached me with very lucrative opportunities.
Yeah, there is one on the table, supposedly, for $3.8 million, and it says that you won't do it because he wants to video it or tape it or whatever you want to call it. Why? That's a lot of money. Why? So what? So you could actually make some sort of a deal where he could only show it for some short amount of time, and then it would never be shown again.
No, actually, I don't recall. In the beginning, we were talking about it, we were discussing, but that's not even an issue anymore. But, different porn production companies have contacted me with that same idea, and if I really want to make big money, I could do it with someone I've dated in the past and just tape it and distribute it. But that's just not the route I've chosen to go with this.
Now, somebody said recently that if an ex-boyfriend were to come forward and say, you know what, I slept with her, I had sex with her, it could, blow the whole deal. Is there some guy out there that is threatened to say he slept with you or something?
No, I'm really good friends with my exes, so we've maintained really good relationships. But, the proof I have to offer, I took 2 very unbiased lie detector exams, not distributed through the Bunny Ranch, and I didn't pay for them personally. They were both televised. So, that's the proof I have to offer. And, of course, people are going to speculate, if I'm telling the truth or not, and that's okay. The only people I'm really concerned with believing me are the men that are, putting down their money.
And you've said, you've been quoted as saying that the one celebrity that you'd like to deflower you is Kim Kardashian, who, is, in my estimation, just as much of a prostitute as anybody else.
How can she vaginally deflower?
No, see, that was such a joke. Basically, everyone, a lot of interviewers are like, what celebrity would you want to do this? And just making it this, trying to make this little fairy tale, and that's not the case. And right before that, I believe it's for some New York magazine or newspaper, and I was just joking around. I was like, I said Bob Saget, and they're like, oh, come on. And I was like, okay, Kim Kardashian. I was just throwing names out there.
Wait a minute. They'd have to pay you a lot more than $4 million to do it with Bob Saget. Just the jokes alone would kill you, So, now, it says you're a conservative, but a non-Christian religious household, and your mother has also made some statements, too, that she still loves you. But are you still friends with your dad and mom? Or is that okay there, that relationship?
No, I haven't had contact with my real father for quite some time, I know everyone's reaction, but I do have a very, very positive male role model in my life. My grandfather, he basically raised me along with my mother and my grandmother, and so, he's 95 years old, and his main concern right now is his health. To be perfectly truthful, I don't even know if he knows about this at this point.
No, don't tell him. Please do not.
I won't. It's just not appropriate for many reasons.
No,
God, what if you bid on it, man?
That'd be bad. Yeah, you accidentally find. That's a movie right there. That's a Slumdog Millionaire for you. Natalie Dillon, go to bunnyranch.com, selling her virginity. The 3.8 million is probably BS, and we figured that out. Now, you have your degree in women's studies, and you're doing this to gain money in a very bad economy, so we understand why. To move on with your studies and become a psychologist and practice family psychology. Do you think this will affect some of the people that come to you with their teenage daughters for advice?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. But actually, major is marriage and family therapy, but I want to specialize in marriage and sex therapy. But, of course, it's going to push a lot of people away. But at the same time, so many people have been contacting me saying they love how honest I am and my views. And so many people have said, let me know when you start your practice. I'll be the first one at your door. So, it works both ways. Of course, it's going to push a lot of people away. But at the same time, it's, so far I've built up quite a bit more clientele than I think most people have when they haven't even acquired that degree. So
you mean people that want to come to you already for psychological advice?
Right. I've had a lot. It's funny. I've had a lot of married women who, they admit to me they married for the money, and they wish they admire my gumption and how I went out and made my own money. And, they're like, I'd love to sit down with you and be your client and talk this out. Like, it's just, so many people, through the Bunny Ranch, I leave that email open because, so many people, it's like, I've become like this advice column giver.
All the good folks that go to bunnyranch.com. What happens if the guy really is fat and gross and stinky, but he comes up with a lot of money? Would you still give it away to him?
Yeah, I'm doing this for monetary gain. So, if for some reason I'm absolutely repulsed by this guy and we don't get along whatsoever, then I don't have to go to the highest bidder. I can go to the lowest bidder if I want to. But
the next good smelling guy. All right. Natalie Dillon, go to bunnyranch.com. We don't know when it's going to happen, but soon there'll be cash for her coochie. Thank you. Good luck selling your virginity. All right?
Thank you.
Back with Natalie Dillon. Go to bunnyranch.com, selling her virginity. Natalie, Rodney Lee Conover and I were having a quick discussion, and we both went back to, in my life, I only tried to have sex with one virgin. Rodney, I don't know how many times you had.
Just once. Just once in my life.
And relate that experience of trying to have sex with a virgin.
Well, I honestly, we could not do it. We tried.
Neither one of us could do it.
No, we couldn't do it. I couldn't even get my finger in there. I mean,
we couldn't.
I don't have that problem.
I could not push in. Well, but you're older. I mean, this is
But do you have a hymen, or is the guy? I would say.
Yeah, how can we prove you're a virgin?
You would want to burst your hymen would be the telltale thing.
Where's the proof in the pudding there, so to speak?
I've taken the lie detector exams, and surprisingly, no guy has asked for that proof. And, all the ladies out there, they know that there's many ways to lose that does not include
you're
sex.
Riding a horse or doing gymnastics or something.
Yeah.
Do you use a vibrator? That's the other way you can break your hymen too.
Oh, I have, yes. And, like I said, I'm selling one thing.
Okay, so it's the first time that you've had a human flesh inside of you, male penis.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, here's another thing that we were just emailed. Your sister works at the Bunny Ranch. Is that true?
No, she worked there 2.5 years ago for 2 weeks. My stepfather, he cleared us out, and my sister and I, we were working normal jobs, but she didn't like that feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. So she worked there for 2 weeks. We were going to school at the time. I covered her classes, did her essay, and just 2 weeks. And she came back home, made her money, and, I've read articles where my sister coerced me into doing this, and she's pushing me to do this. And, honestly, I emailed Dennis before I even told her that. And the only way my sister's been an example to me through this is, I saw her going to the Bunny Ranch as a strong woman, and she came out just as strong, if not stronger. So,
So going to the Bunny Ranch and becoming a legal prostitute made your sister even stronger. When you are finally a psychologist, I don't know that I want you giving my daughter that advice.
No, I'm just saying every life experience makes you stronger.
Okay. But it is odd that your sister worked at the Bunny Ranch, even though it was a couple of years ago and all. So, I mean...
what does she do now?
We're getting our master's pretty soon here, and she's asking me not to divulge her job, but it's completely normal, boring 9 to 5.
All right. Okay. All right, Natalie, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
She's never going to sell her virginity.
Why do you say that?
It's a total scam, and you know it.
Well, no, I think Dennis Hoff is all over this.
Right,
I think
but she's not going
through
through with this, and she's not a virgin.
No, I agree with that. I agree with all of that.
This is a total 100% scam.
So he got all the publicity, and he gets everybody into bunnyranch.com.
Nobody bid $4 million. That's crock.
I believe that, too. I believe that.
She's not a virgin. That's a crock.
Right.
And she got very, very defensive when you asked about her sister.
Can we sue her? Could you sue her? Could you go somewhere?
If you were selling a product, a car, for instance, with this type of fraudulent advertising, you would be sued.
Can I say something right now?
Yes.
I'm very disappointed in this young lady. Very disappointed. You know, once the word Dennis Hoff...
She has besmirched the word punani, hasn't she?
She sure has. And prostitution and everything else. And it's just, and you know what else? They all, even when you go to strip clubs, they're all getting their master's degrees in something. Right? I don't understand that. It's like... is that supposed to make you not think that they're whores? Is that the deal? I don't know. You know, we had the serial killer guy on yesterday, and he was saying all of the different criteria that matched almost every serial killer. You know.
Wait a minute. You had a serial killer on yesterday, or a guy?
No, we had a guy that writes about them. Yeah.
After you say what you're going to say, please ask me about the serial killer story I have for you.
Okay, I'll tell you. But she's got the quintessential problem that all of these women that end up either strippers or whatever, it's the daddy leaving them thing is one of the number one, you know.
Women getting back at their daddies.
Something or other. Yeah. Men, the serial killers, were getting back, most of them at their mothers.
Yeah.
And many were killing women that, and this guy was funny on his own.
Because of a strict mom, yeah.
Or a woman that had disappointed them in some way or whatever. But, you know, she's got this thing, and, you know, on some level, it's like, and, you know, I'm different than you are. You're much more open-minded, and I just... You know, I guess I've only been with a real prostitute a couple of times, and I just found it totally unsatisfying. They couldn't wait to,
I've been with one.
Get you out of there.
When I was 21, my buddies at college on my birthday bought me a prostitute. It was so funny. It was at Nina's Hideaway in Scottsdale. I'll never forget this. And it's a place where you play pool. It's a pool hall. And of course, I had no idea. I just thought we were all going out for my birthday and getting drunk, blah, blah, blah. So we go out there, and everybody's drinking beer, and we're playing pool, and all of a sudden this really hot co-ed starts playing pool with me. And we're playing pool, and she's flirting, and I'm just such a dumbass. I didn't know what was going on, you know. I'm Arthur. I'm like, I just thought I was doing well, you know. And she's asking me to help her with the cue and everything. I'm like,
you mean the movie about the drunk?
I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm really doing good with this chick. I mean, she's way better looking chick than I should be with, right? And then the next thing you know, and all my friends are laughing, you know, and I'm still not clued in. And then she says, hey, man, let's go out and back, you know. God. So I was like, Jesus Christ. We go out and back. She leads me back to the actual Nina's Hideaway.
Of course.
And takes me indoors. I'm like, what's going on here? You live here? I mean, I'm just like a total fucking idiot. And then she goes, don't worry, it's all paid for. Your friends paid for it. And I went, ow, fuck. I was like so disappointed, you know.
It's a very special J.
Yeah. And I couldn't finish the job, you know what I mean? I couldn't even do it. It was just such like oh man, I was so fucking depressed that this was not a chick I was picking up, you know. But that's the only time. If you don't count happy ending massages.
When you watch this Bunny Ranch show, the prices that they charge are so exorbitant. I mean, they look in the camera and the guy's going to spend like $3,000 or something. It's like, what? And this guy, Dennis Hoff, makes it out to be,
Why the fuck would you spend $3,000?
I mean, I don't know.
You can get a regular girl.
Yes.
A couple of dinners and, you know, it's mutual.
I would kill myself first and then become a Muslim and wait for the virgin in the afterlife. Huh? Yes, I would get more than that. But the strange thing is that I just read the other day that they're making billions of dollars and they aren't taxed.
Yeah, they are.
No, I just read this.
Bunny Ranch is taxed. It's a business. And all businesses are taxed, Jay.
In the state of Nevada, there's no state income tax.
Okay, state, fine. But
so this is
what
what
businesses are.
This is what the what do you call it? The owners are deciding.
All businesses.
The owners of and I think Dennis Hoff is in on this. They have gotten together. They have petitioned the state of Nevada to tax them. And they're saying that they want to help in this bad time. What they're afraid of is that there's also a huge movement to get rid of the houses of prostitution because the state doesn't make any money off of them except, the business in that little area, right? The money doesn't even stay in the state. Dennis Hoff can put it anywhere he wants to. The federal government makes it. So they're begging the state of Nevada to start taxing them, a special tax.
You're trying to tell me that they don't tax casinos?
I don't think there's an income tax in the state of Nevada. I just read this the other day.
But that's for personal income taxes. That's not.
There may not be a corporate income tax in the state of Nevada either. Delaware, when people make a corporation out of Delaware, I think they do it because there's no state income tax or corporate income tax in Delaware.
The corporate, the cost to incorporate is less. That's all it is.
Whatever it is. But a lot of people will open a business.
If you do business in California, I don't care if your corporation is in Delaware. You're paying California taxes.
Yeah, you do. If you make the money here, that's true. But in Nevada, I just saw this the other day because it was a funny headline. It says, brothel owners beg state to tax them. It was one of those kind of, ideas. Peter Plattsburgh, Jay Thomas. Yes, Peter Plattsburgh, how are you?
Hey, Jay, I'm doing great, man. You guys are awesome, man. I listen to you every day, or at least when I can, driving around or whatever. I'm on my computer now, and you were talking to that Natalie girl, and I really had no interest in her. It was a funny story and all that, but then just for the hell of it, I went to the Bunny Ranch, and she's like listed next to these other whores.
Yes,
you can make an appointment. I mean, she's between, I'll tell you, Nikki Breeze and Anna Mills. I mean,
she's a complete, she just works for the guy. God, how easy is that?
But here's the weirdest thing. I guess that he just set it up. So when you go on the website, Natalie Dillon is just on there as one of the whores. Do they have a price for her?
What's her real name on the Bunny Ranch?
Do they have a price for her? No. She's listed as Natalie Dillon.
She is? Okay.
Yeah, let me click book an appointment. Well, it just, you put in your name and you request a date, just like any of these other broads.
Of course.
You know what? Maybe she was the anal entry or the oral entry. Maybe she had other specialties.
I thought it was so funny when she says, I've never been vaginally. And I was like, well, that answers that. That answers
you had her
third input question.
You did. And I felt as though that was an affirmative when you asked her if she'd done everything. I think she's done everything else. There is the chance that she hasn't, but I find it hard to believe. But what does Dennis get out of it? Everybody going to the website, I guess.
Well, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Right. Hey, when you bring in Lisa, who is the funniest, maybe you could ask her what she got for her virginity.
I don't think anybody's ever laid Lisa Lampanello. Yeah, I don't think so. We were talking a little while ago about how this woman Natalie has a great body, but everything but her face, right? But her face. And then I said, and then I looked at a picture of her, and the one I have is cute. And what did you call that, Garrett? Angles? You said it was angles? What did you say?
It's called MySpace Voodoo.
MySpace Voodoo. But it's certain angles that you can take a picture of a person at, and they look good.
The most famous one is you hold your own camera up above your head and you look at it. So your face looks big and the rest of your body looks smaller.
And it also looks like you're given a blowjob.
Yeah.
For women.
There is no angle that I can hold Lisa Lampanelli's picture at.
How about pointing the other way?
I've tried everything. I've had it upside down. I'm holding all of her pictures
toward the door.
There's no, even, you know what? Even under
an exit sign.
Yeah, even under my foot, it still comes right through. I can't, so she'll be here in a few minutes. All right, thank you very much, man. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Peter. Kara, California, the Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, before we go any further, we'll discuss this. I think electing Barack Obama, she may be one of the few comedians, comics, whatever you want to call her, Rodney, that's already set up and ready to make black jokes, right? So it's worked in her advantage, where most white comics are saying they can't make fun of this president. So we'll talk about that. Hey, Kara, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a T-shirt idea for you.
Sure, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, you know the got milk and all that kind of stupid.
Got milk, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have the little white mustache on the picture. You got milk. Sure. What's your idea?
They've got ones for the desert. Got sand.
Sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got Richard.
Got Richard?
Yeah, got Richard. Yeah.
Can you turn your radio down? Hold on a minute. Put her on hold for 1 second. Didn't you think she was going to say something else? Does that mean anything to you, Rodney? Got Richard? Does that mean anything?
Well, it's a play on Dick. Got Dick. Richard Dick.
Got Richard. Okay,
yeah,
put her back on. Put her back on. Okay. Well, it's supposed to be Got Dick?
Yes.
Okay.
Rodney got it.
Yeah, he did. He's a genius.
He's smarter than you, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely he is. When it comes to lowbrow humor, he's got me.
Oh.
He's got me. Got Richard. Yeah. All right, Kara. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
right.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Hey, by the way, you can send us your songs to jthomas.com. And am I wrong, Sean, but it sounds like some professionals are starting to send their music in. Maybe people that actually, might even have a deal or something like that. Is this starting to happen?
Well, we're getting some very professional stuff, but
yes,
all of these people are unsigned, but some of the stuff is great. Like we got some stuff today from a band out of Boston that are really, really good.
Now, this all started because we were talking about how difficult.
Is it more than a feeling?
No, it isn't.
Is that the song?
Wait a second. Garrett, what was the first song we got, the first crazy instrumental that we got that we thought this was going to be what they're all going to sound like? What was that? What was that? Do you still have it there somewhere in the archives? It wasn't Mustache Homosexual.
No.
Which is our theme song, by the way, from Cattle Trap. Did you ever hear how the guy got the name of the song, Mustache Faggot?
Yeah,
Rodney?
Covino and Rich.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Some guy cut him off, and he had a mustache, and he yelled at him, "Hey, mustache faggot!" Went into the studio and recorded the song. So that's it. What was the first song we had, Garrett, that we thought this was going to be, it? And by the way, novelty tunes are good. I love that you're a professional, but this is also for people who have things, private, secret things that they only do. This was the first one we got. Very first one. Who is this, Garrett? Who is this?
Eden G.
Bad Monkey. Eden G. That's right.
Jay, we've got a lot of the songs, not all of them, but we've got a bunch of them on the website. If you click on media, and you can find them there.
Yeah, click on media, you'll find it. But Sean, I don't want to just play the pros. I want to play the people like Eden G. that somehow in the deep recesses of their mind, this means something. You know what? This is like being waterboarded, isn't it? This song?
Sounds like early George Harrison, actually.
Almost. Okay. All right. By the way,
sounds like late George Harrison.
Yeah, right. He's still playing. That's right. Vince of California.
Last song just before he croaked.
Vince of California said, Jay, here is the answer to the income tax stuff. Rodney and Jay, Nevada has no state or corporate income tax. And the brothels are frightened that they are not considered bringing in any money except into their own pockets. And a lot of the money leaves the state immediately after it's paid, like who knows where it's sent. And so the brothels are asking the state in these tough times, Rodney.
You know, Natalie's vagina is going to leave the state right after that last bit.
If they can help by being taxed, and they are in negotiations right now to be taxed. Okay, we'll keep talking to you. The Jay Thomas Show, and Rodney Lee Conover is here too.
The Jay Thomas Show.
You have to humiliate for what?
It's fun.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoons.
Indy. Sirius XM 104.
The saga continues. More details continue to emerge about Anthony Weiner's sexting scandal.
There is no higher honor in a democracy than being sent by your neighbors to represent them in the United States House of Representatives. I'm here today to again apologize for the personal mistakes I have made and the embarrassment I have caused. I make this apology to my wife, Huma. So today I'm announcing my resignation from Congress.
My dick is up! And damn, it won't go down. It wants some love. It keeps bobbing up and down. And when it grows, it's as hot as cobalt steel. I've been told it's 9 inches, yeah, it's the real deal. Can't you see me standing here in my underwear and I'm ready to tweet? I'm really proud of my meat. Screw my congressional seat.
You've got mail.
Look at my junk. Take a look at my junk. This is my junk. Take a look at my junk.
With God's help and with hard work, we will all be successful. Thank you and good afternoon.
The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoon.
Jesus. What idiots.
Indy. Sirius XM 104.
Tom Philbin was on the Jay Thomas Show, loves serial killers, and if you listen closely to this interview, you will hear the way that I wind through this man's psyche. Before this thing is over, we're going to see a very dangerous individual. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Iron Maiden! Music to serially kill by. Jay Thomas Show. My eyes are as wide open as they can be. Shuli is here. Yeah! Let's welcome Tom Philbin, the author of the Killer Book of Serial Killers. And he's got the pictures of all the serial killers there. The Killer Book of Serial Killers is out and available now. Tom, welcome to the show. I'm Jay Thomas, and Shuli is here with me. How are you, Tom?
Good. I know you well.
Which one of us?
Jay Thomas.
Okay, good.
Every year you throw a football at a meatball on top of a Christmas tree in a Letterman show, right?
Tom, did you have a cocktail before the interview?
No, I didn't.
It's not like you had a cocktail.
No, I didn't. No.
You sound.
I don't care. You would fit right in. By the way, we would love nothing more to talk to you about this book after you've had a couple of shots.
You sound good. You sound smooth and lubed up.
I was complimenting you.
Yeah.
Now, when you were a kid, did you have a fascination for you and your brother ever skin a puppy? Did you ever do stuff like that when you were a little blow up a frog?
Skin a puppy alive? No.
Yeah, like why would you be interested in it?
Well, I was just talking to a guy who said Bush, George W. Bush,
And well, he described all these characteristics of a serial killer. Then he said, "Who do you think that is?" And including, he said, putting firecrackers in the butts of frogs.
Yeah.
He says, and then setting them off.
I've heard that.
Who would you do that? Who did that? I said, oh, we don't have that guy in the book. He says, well, that was George W. Bush, you know.
Well, what were some of the other traits? I mean, lots of semi-normal people. I mean, when I was a kid growing up in Louisiana, and I hated it, but there were guys that would catch dragonflies, we call them mosquito hawks, and pull the wings off of them. I don't know why. I don't know what that was supposed to do. They would try and do things to cats. They would take a cherry bomb or something and put it into a fish or a frog and blow it up. Is that something that George Bush did a lot of? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that definitely that's a disturbed mind. I mean, what kind of level of hostility do you need to be able to do anger? You need to do that to creatures like that. But the serial killer will also set fires. That's another characteristic they have when they're young. They have the so-called triad of factors that they ascribe to a serial killer, and two of them are cruelty to animals. One is setting fires, and the other one is I haven't figured this one out yet. It's wetting the bed. You know, so, but that's what they say. If you have a kid that's doing that stuff when they're young, very young, you got problems, you know.
Well, a lot of kids wet the bed, though. I mean,
yeah, I know. That's why I have I can't explain that. That's what these psychiatrists say. But the other two I can explain because they're power trips, you know.
Right.
I mean, when the guys who get into this, who kill people, or serial killers like this, are tremendously abused. I mean, their abuse is off the scale. You know?
Yet abusing something else or someone else gets them off.
I don't get that.
But it's they live in a symbolic world. I think we all do to a degree, you know. But they project these feelings on creatures that they can, or on things that they can do that can get away from. The real culprits, the mother and the father, they don't come into the picture. But like you take a guy like Ted Bundy, you know, he killed about 40 women, maybe more.
How many?
40.
That they know of.
Now wait a second.
We know of, exactly.
Now wait one second. I was working down in Florida when he was working. He worked the campus, didn't he? Wasn't he around University of Florida and stuff? So here's a guy who's really handsome and used to bite them. They would find him dead with the big bite marks and all, and he would pick them up. These were women that were going to definitely screw him, right?
Yeah.
And so I read, and maybe this is in your book also, that they never could find what you're talking about, this seed of insanity that would have made him into a serial killer.
No, well, that's right, Jay. The thing was that they didn't. Nobody, as far as I know, I haven't read any background on him, deep background, but we do know a few things, and one of them was that his biological father was his grandfather. Now, you have to figure that some kind of dysfunction is going on inside that family when your grandfather is your father. And, you know, they took the mother. She was unwed, of course, and she put her in a home in Vermont, and she had the unwed mother. She had the baby there, and then they shipped Ted, out to the West Coast, Seattle, and claiming that he was, the son of her sister. And so, I mean, there's signs of dysfunction there, profound dysfunction. There's always dysfunction. Now, I've given talks like in libraries on this, and I've had some people say, oh, well, it's a bad seed, they're evil, it's genetic. But maybe that's true, but I've never found anything to back that up. I've always found profound dysfunction. I mean, I could have people hurling chunks here, telling some of the stuff that these guys did to them, the parents did to them when they were young, you know.
Now, when you said that his grandfather was his dad,
right?
The door you open there is that type of genetic closeness leads to insanity. So you're talking about something that could have happened biologically because of the like blood mixing.
You could, but I haven't seen proof of it, you know what I mean? I haven't seen anybody study that or say that that's true. What I have seen, and the only way I can draw the conclusions that I draw, is I've seen profound dysfunction in these guys when they were young and profound mistreatment. I'll give you one example. Edmund Kemper, a guy in the coast who killed 6 co-eds, and ultimately decapitated his mother and chewed up her larynx in a food disposer.
Wait a second. He took her larynx out and put it in the garbage disposal?
That's right, yeah, and chopped it up, yeah. So
why? Was that the silencer?
She couldn't bitch at him anymore. You know, it was just something he loathed her. And by the way, after he did that, after he killed his mother, the serial killing stopped. He called the police. He said, "No more. I'm ready. Pick me up. I'm the guy you're looking for," etc. But when he was a kid, like 7 or 8 years old, and he did something wrong, they took his pet chicken and they said to him, "You're a bad boy. You got to kill your chicken." And he did, tears streaming down his face all the time. And then they cooked and ate it for dinner. I mean, this is not exactly the way you treat a child for being bad, you know.
They made him kill his own pet chicken and
cooked it and ate it.
How did he kill it? Did he have to choke it? I can't get a goddamn rim shot all day today. Who do I got to pay for that?
Stay where you are. If you, we're going to hear things. You may be tossing chunks before this interview with Tom Philbin is over. The Killer Book of Serial Killers, Crime Scene, Do Not Cross. It's the Jay Thomas Show with Shuli. And if you tortured animals as a child, if you were tortured by your parents,
give us a call at...
Please give us a call at 888-4-102-102. Tom, please don't laugh. This is the serious part.
We're going to set him off, dude.
Because you are on the precipice of serial murder, and we want to stop it right now. I'm just beginning my probe. Stay where you are. The Jay Thomas Show.
The Jay Thomas Show. It's the afternoon show. We will say what you are thinking. What can I say? The guy's good.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas. Sirius XM 104.
I've got my probe on deep. Here I go. With the serial killer guy. Jay Thomas here. Shuli, back in New York City. I'm coming to you from California. And we've got Tom Philbin. This is the killer book, the serial killer book. Tom, you related to Regis Philbin? Is he a relative?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I look alike. We look alike. He's from Ireland. I mean, his family's Irish. I'm Irish, you know. They're kind of like the deep-set brown eyes. I was related, but, you know, I've never talked to the man.
Never met him. Daryl of Red Deer, Alberta, the Jay Thomas Show. Yes, Daryl, go ahead. We have Tom Philbin. Now, Tom, you're an expert on serial killers. You've made yourself an expert?
The latter is more true than anything else. I've made myself an expert, reading about it, studying it. I've done FBI Behavioral Science Unit, et cetera, et cetera. I've talked to profilers, you know, all kind. Yeah, I've made myself an expert, but I'm not a psychiatrist or anything. People would claim I need one, but anyway.
Yeah, you're a sick individual.
I am. Well, Irish.
Right. Yes, Daryl, go ahead. What's your question for Tom Philbin? The killer book, the serial killer book. Daryl, go ahead.
Did you end up, I believe it was Dr. James Dobson from Focus on the Family did an interview with Ted Bundy just recently, like just before he was executed in, I believe it was Texas. He was...
That's right, yeah.
Got the chair. Yeah, did you happen to peruse that video in the making of your book, or no?
No, I didn't. I know the one thing I remember about it is that while he was talking to Bundy, the light dimmed, and the reason for that was that they were testing the electric chair, which Bundy, as they say, rode the lightning shortly thereafter. But I'm doing another book on serial killers, and I'm going to be reviewing that.
Sure you are. Now, Daryl, what did he say? Did he admit that he was the killer? Did Bundy say he was? No.
Yeah, yes, he did actually. He admitted he killed those women, and he knew. Hello.
Now, wait a minute, Daryl. Daryl is saying he said he killed him. You write the book about serial killers, Tom Philbin, and you're saying
I haven't seen. Maybe he's right. I mean, there's a slim possibility I'm wrong. You know?
Yeah. Hey, Daryl, when your book comes out, please get in touch with us, would you please?
He stated that his interest in this, what sparked his molestation and raping and killing of women actually started with pornography, is what he stated.
Yeah, but you can't believe anything they say. That's all baloney. They don't. First of all, they don't know why they do what they do, and it's his interpretation. It's just, you know.
Why would you listen to a crazy guy tell you why he's crazy?
I know that. Yeah.
But who says to say? You say you're somewhat crazy yourself, so how are we to believe anything you say?
Well, wait a minute. First of all, he's talking to Dobson, who's a complete idiot, and he knew that Dobson wanted to hear that pornography caused serial killing. I mean, I think Ted Bundy, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, Ted Bundy was playing with us, wasn't he, Tom?
Absolutely. He loved that. It was his ego. They're all like that. They have these egos. Definitely playing with people.
Now, you're saying Dobson's an idiot? Well,
yes,
why do you say that?
With the focus on the family, all of that stuff? What are you, crazy? He would have Sirius XM taken off the air, Daryl.
Yeah.
Well, he has several degrees. Are you saying that the places
I have several degrees too. Yeah, I have several degrees also.
Psychology and counseling.
So do I. I have all that. You're not going to get me to say anything about Dobson other than he's a complete idiot, and he's the devil incarnate as far as I'm concerned. He's exactly the definition of the Antichrist. If you'll read about it, in Paul 3:17, it's exactly what the Antichrist was supposed to look like. It's Mr. Dobson. Dr. Dobson, focus on the family, Daryl. Get your Bible and look at it. You like the Antichrist, and that's the end of it.
I'm just saying you want us to be open-minded. Now you're being all closed and angry.
I'm not being closed. I'm just telling you.
You have some rage issues. You might want to get counseling on.
He's
You're
evil.
bubbling him up right now. I hear you bubbling over right now. You're just bubbling over with rage towards this man. Right. You should look towards.
You know what, Daryl? If you were near me now, I would skin you alive, and I would eat your larynx, and then after I killed you, Daryl, I'd feel better. How about that?
I'd put your balls in a garbage disposal.
That's right. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Daryl. As you can see, Tom, we have a very open forum here.
I'm not going to go against you, I'll tell you that.
Well, that guy Dobson with the focus on the family
they don't. These guys serve their own ends, their own psychological ends when they talk to these guys. They're not telling the truth. They don't.
Dave, Washington State, the Jay Thomas Show. Dave, are you interested in serial killers? Will you go out to get the killer book of serial killers? Would you find that bathroom reading, Dave?
Well, no, not that, but I have a lot in common with the folks he's talking about. As a kid, my father tortured me with his horrible jokes, like he had an uncle he was a magician, he could turn into a driveway. He would all the time be saying, piss locker, and...
What? So did it make you kill frogs? Did you blow frogs up with firecrackers and stuff?
No. Much of this is just routine part of the show. I just thought it could be a minor personality for a couple of minutes.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Dave was just trying to be famous. Now, Tom, years ago I had the rights to the Hillside Strangler story. I talked about this yesterday for some reason. And my buddy who was the co-producer went in and met with him and Bianchi, and he goes into the jail and gets to talk to him and all. And he talked about baseball and everything else. He never really talked about the murders, and acted totally normal and everything else. And so, what is it? Do they just kind of does nighttime cause it? I mean, do most of these killings happen at night? Do they ever kill during the day? Is there a time of day that sets them off?
No, they mimic human behavior, by the way. You think they're human, but they're sociopaths. They don't care about anybody but themselves. But no, they would kill in the daytime. I mean, Bundy, for example, took 2 girls from Samashi State Park. I'm mispronouncing the park name, but he took them in his Volkswagen, 2 in the same day, and killed both of them. He faked having get one of those things as surfboards on his car, and he needed help, and he overpowered them, and he took them and killed them. No, it's not the time of the day. It's just that anxiety and rage build up in them, and they have to discharge it, and the only way they can discharge it is by killing people, killing symbols of the people who overpowered and abused them, and then when they were kids. That's my interpretation of it anyway.
I remember seeing some stuff on Bundy that he had a really large IQ, number one, and then number two, I believe in one of the trials, didn't he represent himself?
He did. He, as a matter of fact, well, that's his ego there. We're talking about his ego.
But I remember the judge saying that in different circumstances, this guy could have a shot at really being a lawyer. Like, he was good.
Yeah, the judge says, he said, I would have loved to have seen you practice in front of me, you'd make a good lawyer. But, he said, but then he said, but you took a different road, partner. And then he sentenced him to the electric chair. And of course he rode the lightning, as they say, And, but
you like that term. You like to ride the lightning term.
I like, I'm a ghoul. I mean, I'm basically a ghoul. I mean, so is my brother. My brother's worse than me.
In your opinion, who do you think is the worst, the most evil serial killer of our time?
Well, they compete of our time, Dennis.
Can I say who I think it is?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The management of Clear Channel Radio. Sean, I thought I'd throw that out there. We both work for them. I thought I'd just throw it out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, the new management, I hear, are very nice people. But go ahead, Tom. Yes.
No, but
Sean got that. Go ahead, Sean.
I had a fantasy once, Jay. I had a fantasy that they would have all other serial killers of the 20th century would have a party for the guest of honor, the outstanding serial killer of the 20th century. And the guy who would walk in would be a 5'5" white-haired old man named Albert Fish, and he would be given applause and so forth. And then they would serve dinner. I don't know what they would serve, but anyway. But Fish was the worst to me. He was a cannibal and a child killer, and he wrote a letter to 6 years after he abducted a 10-year-old child and killed and ate her, wrote a letter to the parents that would make a maggot barf, I mean, he just, he described how he killed her and how she fought him and how he ate her and so forth. But Fish had one problem, because he had this hard-boiled guy named Will King, a New York City detective who was a classic guy who would never give up, and he worked on that case every day for 6 years, and he finally got him, and it was an incredible piece of I don't know why they never made a movie of that. Really,
how many kids did this guy kill?
Wait a minute, you just said, I don't know why they never made a movie of that. I mean, the call to the parents and all that, it's too gruesome.
No, not that. No, the detective story of the guy, how the guy tracked him down, how this Will King tracked him down.
I mean, the guy did get caught in the end.
Yeah, but it was mano a mano, one-on-one, and he did a superb piece of detective work to get him. Fish had sent him an envelope, or sent a letter in an envelope where he crossed out the return address, and it was a Chauffeurs Benevolent Association or something, and King got that, and he went to the Chauffeurs Benevolent Association, and he tried to track where the envelope came from, and he said, did anybody take envelopes? He said, nobody's going to get in trouble, and, just tell me. And one guy finally admitted he did, and he said, I found these envelopes in this hotel or motel over on 52nd Street, which they had then, I guess. And he says, I took these envelopes and I left some there. And sure enough, it turned out, after investigation, that Fish had taken one of a roach had crawled up the side of the wall and to it like a shelf, and Fish went and saw the envelopes on the shelf, took one, and used that to send this letter to this Grace Budd, Mrs. Budd, and their husband Albert. And what happened then was that so they had the hotel where he got the envelope. So King sat on that thing he went over there and he looked at the registration, and he saw Fish's handwriting. It was Mr. Howard, Frank Howard, and he waited for a couple of months, chain smoking and eating canned vegetables. And then one day he went out for a break around Christmas time, and he came back, and the landlady came running up to him. She says, Mr. King, he's here, he's back. He's up in that room. He returned for his check every month, apparently, some sort of welfare check. And King just went up there, knocked on the door, and the guy opened it, and there he was, Albert Fish. So it was a great story,
Now, when you said you were a Gould and your brother's a Gould, and you like, the killer book of serial killers is your new book. I mean, that makes you a strange person, also, doesn't it, Tom?
Yeah, I am. Sure. I think people are all buried, don't you? I mean, we're all like sick in a way.
No, I happen not to like to read graphic death details. I had a lot of trouble when I went to the trial for the Hillside Strangler. One of the things that he would do, he and his cousin would get these women, and I don't know if they had, maybe they had sex with them, but one time they would cut the end of the of a cord, of a electrical cord, and they would plug in the electrical, the plug. Then they would attach it to this woman, right? Then they would turn the switch on, and her body jumped so much that they put the bed on top of her to keep and this was all discussed so calmly. I got sick. I couldn't take it. But when you hear this stuff, you don't get sick.
No. See, I don't go into the victims that much. You're talking about, if you get into the victims and the details of what happened to these victims, that's when you really turn off. It sort of remains almost in a fantasy world for me, where I don't acknowledge its reality, and I'm just interested in the why of the killers and so forth. But I don't. If you read, like I had this one passage with Edmund Kemper describing how he killed these 2 college girls. I tell you the truth, I did not get through it. I had to read it twice. I mean, the second part. One part, and then I stopped. I couldn't take it anymore, and then I read the second part because it got so graphic and real to me, and the horror, and I empathize and identify with these girls that I just, I have daughters. No, you're right. I couldn't take that either. To me, it's like, this is all stuff like an entertainment. It sounds weird, but that's the way we wrote the book, as an entertainment to people. It's kind of like, it's funny,
Tom, it's funny and it's entertaining.
Well, yeah, it is not funny. Wait a minute, you're right. I'm using the wrong word.
I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what you're saying. But do you find Dexter to be interesting? Do you like Dexter? Dexter?
No, I don't. I think that doesn't make sense, that whole concept to me, so I don't watch the show for that reason. No, It's entertaining. I would be lying if I said I wasn't entertained by it all.
Okay. Joe, Winnipeg, The Jay Thomas Show. Tom Philbin and his brother have written the killer book of serial killers. It's out there now, bestseller, of course. Yes, Joe, Winnipeg, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally love it. I want to know where to get the book. I'm totally fascinated with what he said.
Well, why are you interested in it? I don't understand these crazy people kill people and
it's interesting. It's like a horror story, Jay. Sort of like
that's what's so interesting about it.
But it gives me nightmares and stuff.
Like, here's the thing. Like for me, okay, I love, like, war documentaries, like seeing stuff about World War II,
right.
Seeing these soldiers do something that I know I probably would not be able to do. I would be too scared. I would be too much of a chicken shit to do what these brave people did. That fascinates me. To take me out of this element and pretend that I'm in this element and seeing what these guys are doing, that's fascinating to me. And it's the same thing with, like, these serial killers, too. I could never do this to another human being, but it's interesting to see.
But don't you think killing somebody is, in fact, the ultimate power? Is actually having that control over somebody's life, whether they live or die.
We got a live one.
Joe.
No, I'm not.
Joe, we don't know who you are, even though we have the phone number and a picture of you that just come up on the screen here. Joe, have you wanted to kill somebody? Were you tortured as a child?
I'm not buying the last name, Mama. Nice try, Joe.
No, I mean, like, these people have a great instinct to torture them and to kill them. That's just totally fascinating how somebody can get that dark inside their head and still get away with it so long. So
and also the fact that these guys are holding out jobs, they're interacting with the real world and then going into this psycho world.
Oh, the BTK guy.
Yeah.
Joe, Tom, wasn't he a
animal control guy? Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a dog catcher. He was a dog catcher.
He was an enforcement agent. But Ted Bundy was on a suicide hotline right next to the Ann Rule. I mean, these guys, they mimic human behavior. They divorce themselves from things. They're not human. They've gone beyond. They've never really. They've been turned into monsters when they were children, and they stay that way. And then they go through life mimicking human behavior, having, going to college and doing all the rest, all the things we all do. And yet they're not like us at all. I mean, I can hardly kill a mouse, for God's sake, these days. I mean, and yet I get entertained by this other stuff.
Yeah,
Joe,
but is
Winnipeg.
that not the most ultimate evil, is to be able to kill and just even to walk around? Like, there's a T-shirt for you. Jay is a serial killer in training, or don't push me, I might be a killer.
Sean, write his
I
number
don't scare
down.
the hell out of
Write his
people.
number down. Yeah, Sean, write his number down if you don't mind. Contact him. All right, Joe. Thank you, Joe Winnipeg. Thanks for calling. Now, I saw the most amazing interview. It was Dahmer and his dad. Did you see that interview, Tom?
No, I didn't.
Well, you don't see anything, for God's sake.
Some expert you are.
How do you write a book? You don't see things that the guy called earlier about,
Ted Bundy's been dead for 20 years. You haven't seen that?
Dobson, the Antichrist, sits down with the killer with Ted Bundy, and then this is I forget who did the interview, but it was a long one, and it's Dahmer and his dad, and they just sit there, and before I realized who they were, I kept going, gee, I wonder what this is all about, and then I realized, my God, it's Jeffrey Dahmer. How come you didn't watch that? What's the matter with you?
I'm flawed. I don't know why.
You're flawed? You're floored or you're flawed?
Flawed.
Or you're floored.
No, why? I don't know why, but I really, now you've exposed me as a total fraud on the air. It's serious.
You're not a fraud. You're not a fraud. No, you're not.
I really am. You want to know what my real problems are? No.
The killer book of serial killers. What did you think of Silence of the Lambs? Was that taken, for those who don't remember?
From a bunch of killers, yeah. That was taken.
They wanted to take the skin off of women, and he was making a skin body for himself.
Yeah, that was it. Ed Gein did that. Right. You know, the original Psycho did that out in Plainfield, Wisconsin. You know, and see how knowledgeable I am? No,
yes,
out in Plainfield, Wisconsin, and he robbed graves, and he would take all the body parts and he made bowls and all kinds of things out of them, and the skin, and he wore women's breasts that he had stolen from graves and danced around in the moonlight. You know, you talk about I don't know what you talk about.
Well, let's talk for 1 minute about the Nazis. And these guys that watch people die, made lampshades out of Jewish people's skin and killed them and all of that. What is the difference between those individuals and serial killers?
I don't know, but I really don't know.
I'm talking about the Nazis that actually
it's
thought of it.
Amazing parallel, but
yes,
I think that those people were just like psychopaths themselves, and they just kind of had they invented a reason to act out this horror. I mean, how many people do you know could do things like that? But they could. They just had a capacity for this type of thing. But to answer your question, I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question. I really don't know the answer to that.
Well, I probably gave you an idea for your next book. Tom Philbin, The Killer Book of Serial Killers, and the Zodiac. Did they ever?
No,
the
never
movie
got him.
Never found him. He might have died or just stopped doing it, right?
Sure. Sometimes they die. They go to prison. You know, they don't. You know, they some of them get away with it.
Can I just ask you real quick before you go? Who killed the most people? Who's the highest?
Well, there's they say that Henry B. Lucas, the guy in Houston, Texas, the guy interviewed him. He had one glass eye, and this guy said the glass eye was the warm one. but he said. They said he killed 300, but I think they settled on 100. You know, there was a highway between I think Gainesville, Florida, and some spot in Texas. He dumped all his bodies there, and this is entertaining to me. He said they called it the Henry Lee Lucas Memorial Highway. The cops called it.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Anyway, I mean, do I sound like I should head for therapy right away? I don't know. My brother and I can go hand in hand and say, "Thanks, Mom, thanks, Dad."
You know what? Really, it's the first time ever brothers have gone to couples therapy. I think that would be a first. Mike of Colorado, the Jay Thomas Show with Tom Philbin, who we've convinced is mentally ill, and he and his brother need therapy. The Killer Book of Serial Killers. Yes, Mike of Colorado. Yes.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
I would like to ask your guest how much he knows about Charlie Starkweather and his girlfriend.
Oh, I know a lot. Yeah, because I did a book on mass murders, which are, of course, are a lot of killings all at once, and that's I know a lot about them. Yeah, and
who was Charlie Stark? Who was that, Mike? Charlie Starkweather.
He lived in, I believe it was a little town outside of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Right, that's right.
Back in like the 20s and 30s, and he was like a look-alike.
Yeah, he ran on a rampage. He and Carol Fugate, his girlfriend, they killed 13 people, and in the end, she said that she didn't do anything, and so on and so forth, and she wanted him to help her, absolve her from.
She got locked up for quite a while, didn't she?
Yeah. And then she was released, but the Stark could have said, "Listen, if I go into the chair, she's going to be sitting on my lap." I like stuff like that. I can't help it.
One thing he liked the most, rageful serial killer. Did he have like a lot of rage?
Oh, they're all full of rage. They're full of white hot rage that you can't see because they're learned, as I said, to mimic human behavior. But
can't he just walk in and shoot? No questions asked?
No, it builds up. They don't shoot. A lot of times it's by hand, They like close contact, with a hand or a knife, something like that,
God.
And I mean, a guy, I'll tell you, you want to be like, let's go, we're in the hurling chunks phase of the show, but VTK, Dennis Rader, he killed the Otero family, and he killed the mother, the father, then the little boy, and then took the 10-year-old girl. Oh, never mind. You don't like this, Jay, do you? I don't want to upset you.
You know what? I tell you what No, hold on. Tom, I don't want to spoil your fun, but let's go away for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to take an Alka-Seltzer and or whatever, and they're not a sponsor, and we'll be back with Tom Philbin, the killer book of serial killers.
Jay Thomas.
The Jay Thomas Show.
It's the afternoon show. Sirius XM 104. The Jay Thomas Show. Indeed. Sirius XM 104.
Before this interview is over, before I stop probing, you'll hear this guy say, "Okay, the Jay Thomas Show." Hey, the Jay Thomas Show. Tom Philbin has written the killer book of serial killers, bestseller, all that stuff. Jerry, St. Louis, the Jay Thomas Show with Shuley. Yes, Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if he knows anything about the BTK out there in Kansas. If he fits the profile of these people that've been abused and that. Because he, to me, he was really one of the strangest because he lived such a normal life. I mean, he went to church. He had a position in the church. Had kids, a family, everything else, and then goes, to somebody's house and kills the whole family.
Yeah, well, a lot of them, they're all like that, basically. I mean, they're kind of, not all, but most of them have a very
Well, he's asking, what do you know about him? Was he tortured as a...
We know nothing about him. I don't know. I know a guy named Robert Beatty, who wrote a book called, I forget the name of the book, but it was about the BTK killer, and I'm going to talk to him soon. But I don't know that anybody knows much of anything. The thing is that their backgrounds look so normal. The great American, remember that kid down in killed all those people in Virginia Tech? I mean,
yeah.
He looks normal too, but I guarantee you, when you start probing the background, you're going to see profound abnormality.
Here's I hunt and fish, and if you've ever shot a deer or or a boar or whatever, and you have to field dress it. Now, surely you've never done anything like this, but when you have to field dress an animal, and you've cut it open, and the insides start coming out, it stinks to high heaven. There's blood everywhere, and I mean, you have to grind with the knife. The crazy thing, Tom, is when you talk about these people that kill an adult human being, and then they start chopping them up.
Yeah.
Do they ever is there any report anywhere that they got sick of their own mess? I mean, it's blood. It's
not really. I mean,
fecal matter. It's, God forbid. It doesn't. None of them got disgusted by it.
No, but both Bundy and Kemper used decapitated heads as masturbatory devices in the shower. I mean, they don't get sick at all.
They would bring a severed head into the shower.
That's right, and use it as a device to masturbate, you know. And
I yelled at my girlfriend for bringing a radio in there the other day.
Can you imagine having soap on a rope, head on a rope? You'd have it in the shower with.
No, in my luck, somebody would just walk in. I'd be like, "Don't you knock, Jesus!"
Wait a minute, isn't that Gloria's head?
Shirley, sit down. I need to talk to you for a minute.
Trophies from the scene. In other words, they take body parts. They will take all kinds of personal device items too, like necklaces and wallets and things like that. And then what they do is they every now and then they break them out, and it's like the pornography for them. And then they'll masturbate. And there's always a tremendous sexual drive, by the way, associated with all these killings. But then they will masturbate as they recall the details of their crimes, and these trophies or tokens that they take from the crime scene will help them make it more real to them, you know.
Now let's take Ted Bundy, who was an attractive guy, the guy that you'd bring home to dinner with your family. That's how nice of a guy.
Smart, everything else, sure.
Right. Is there any information you might have where he met someone that he didn't kill?
Oh, yeah, they don't usually kill the people that they go out with, and he was going to marry one girl. He went out. He had a couple of girlfriends. No, he doesn't. He would. The woman would have to fit the profile, and with Bundy, it was some long, dark-haired woman with kind of a straight part in the hair, and that looked like his mother, basically. And he would kill a person like that. But the anger and the anxiety would build up, and when it built up to a kind of a flashpoint, that's when he would kill. But they don't kill people that they know and, you know, go out with, or their mothers or their fathers, usually, you know. Now,
but didn't his apartment smell funny? I mean, where would you keep all these body parts in his?
Bundy took them out into the woods and dumped the bodies out there, and then the animals did the rest to the body.
But what about the head that he would jerk off to? Where did he keep the heads?
I don't know. I never asked him. I'll ask my brother. He has a head in there. No, I don't know really what they did. They did with them.
Imagine opening up the freezer and, you know.
Oh, you want to know something? Okay,
What?
You can curse on Sirius, right?
Yes.
A little bit.
Oh, a little bit. Well, okay.
You can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want. But
well, I just want to quote a cop. And they were searching Dahmer's apartment, and they opened up the icebox door, and in the freezer, the cop looked, he says, "There's a fucking head in the refrigerator." And there was.
And to top it off, there was one.
And there was. At the top of it off, there was one.
Hey, quit screwing around, Ernie. We got a crime scene here.
It'd be funny if they peeked and they were like, "You asshole, it's a TV dinner. You got us."
Right. Tom Philbin, The Killer Book of Serial Killers. He has sold millions of copies of books. You do crime novels, true crime, everything. How many books have you written?
About 45.
My God.
And one day I hope to get them published. No.
You're a ghoul.
Now, Tom, do you like your steaks rare, really rare?
No, I like them well done.
You really do? You don't like bloody rare meat?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Now, the weird thing is I have a brother. Shuli, you have a brother?
Yeah, I have two brothers, two older brothers.
Can you imagine, Shuli, being so close to your brother in an idea that you would write books with him? Or I mean, I'm not anything like. I mean, my brother and I like each other, but you know,
I'm like one of my brothers, but the other one and I are definitely not.
Yeah, well, you'll see. The thing is that there's one commonality here, and that is that we both had the same mom and dad. You know.
I don't know what that.
You want to talk a horror story? No.
No. What I'm saying is, that you and your brother were always attracted to gruesome kind of
I didn't know
stories.
about him, but he was. Yeah, I didn't know that he was attracted to it. Then when I started writing, and he's a musician living in New Hampshire, and I said, you know, you got to make some money. And I said, so how about writing the books with me? And he started to write books with me, you know. So that was basically why, you know.
All right. Tom Philbin, you don't need good luck, but The Killer Book of Serial Killers, and it's out and available now. I guess Amazon has it, or you have a website? website?
No website. No. No, it's Amazon has it. It's in the stores and so forth and so on.
Right.
By the way, I want to say this now at the end of the interview. I enjoy you very much. I mean, you're a very funny guy. Whenever you come on the Letterman show, I go, hey, I stay up.
Well, it's like a friend. I'm like a friend, aren't I?
No, you know what you're like? You have a sort of a volatile kind of thing, right? I mean, you're not a serial killer, but you have a kind of you never know what you're going to say next.
And I have a rage in me, don't I? An anger.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you're the. As a matter of fact, you're the angriest person I ever met in my life.
Well, if you had to make change at a booth next to Eric Roberts, you'd be pretty pissed off too.
Do you know that I wonder if that rage in me has come out in my ability to have oral sex for hours? I wonder.
Yeah, you know what the definition of the perfect lover is, don't you?
What?
It's a guy with a 12-inch tongue who can breathe through his ears.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Philbin, ladies and gentlemen.
Classy Tom Philbin, right?
There you go. The man that somehow sees the serial killer in me. The Killer Book of Serial Killers, Incredible Stories, Facts, and Trivia from the World of Serial Killers. Tom, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Now I pull the probe out, and I wiggle it around.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoons. Sirius XM 104.
I love to bring people on that have proclivities that I don't understand. And you'll find that most gay men, and maybe gay women too, mostly gay men, they think everybody is basically gay. And we had RuPaul on because he has a new television show. Of course he does. And we brought him on, and I think we were pretty able to prove that Shuli has some real problems. It's the Jay Thomas Show, some hidden secrets.
Looking real tough with chrome reverse wheels. My blue car wax job sure looks pretty. Gonna get my chicken, make it out to Drag City. Yeah, I'm going to Drag City, but I could not. Here we go. Drag City.
Well, Jan and Dean, let's go to Drag City. Shuli is here. You know him from Howard 101, and he joins me with Madison on Friday mornings on Howard 101 and Howard 100 News and all that stuff. And let's go to RuPaul. Go to RuPaul.com or RuPaulsDragRace.com. Now, is your first name Ru? The last name is RuPaul, right?
No, my first name is RuPaul.
First name is RuPaul.
Yeah.
You know, I think you followed me in, if I'm not mistaken. Did you work at KTU at one time?
I sure did.
And Freddie Colon was the engineer that ran your board, remember?
Yes, I do. Yep.
So RuPaul, I had been the disc jockey, and I guess I leave the station or whatever, and I guess you came in. Did you do mornings? Was it mornings?
I did morning drive at KTU for a few years.
Yeah. Well, Freddie used to call me all the time, afraid that you were going to attack him. Did you know that?
Yeah, Freddie needs to get a life.
So Shuli. Shuli is here, by the way.
Well,
Shuli RuPaul.
Hi, RuPaul. How you doing?
Hi. I wish I could name an actor who would play Freddie so you guys could really get a picture of what Freddie would look like.
Oh, there is the actor. You know the little guy he plays. He plays in every movie. I forget his name. He's short. He's a little Spanish guy.
Right, Luis.
Luis.
From Carlito's Way and all those.
Luis Guzman.
Yeah. Yes.
That's Freddie Colon right there.
Yeah.
So he works for, or maybe you started the new KTU. Maybe it was the second incantation of KTU. I was out working at Power 106. So Freddie calls me up, and he had been my engineer and producer. And he goes, "Oh, Jesus, I'm going to work with RuPaul." And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You think he's going to attack me?" I go, Freddie, women don't want to attack you. Nobody wants to attack you.
Hopefully
unattractive.
Yeah, hopefully a bar of soap would attack him.
I think RuPaul would attack maybe an attractive person, but I don't think he'll go for you. And did he work for you for years?
Yeah, we worked together for many years, and actually the chemistry was really good. The fact that he was sort of, he played the straight guy, no pun intended, and it was it worked out really fun. It was really great.
He was completely homophobic his entire life, and a real live macho Puerto Rican guy.
Well, Jay, as people have been through therapy and we're adults, we know what that really means. We know what that really means. Methinks the gentleman does protest too much, and this is not rocket science. When people oppose something so strongly, what they are is it's on their mind constantly. They're obsessed with it. Actually, straight men are obsessed with gay men because they're talking about it all the time. Gay men don't talk about straight men like that.
Now, don't you really believe that right now there are like some large group of men listening going, you're full of crap because they're going, I hate gays and I'm not gay and the whole thing. And I think that there's some truth to what you're saying, but it's not completely true. And I think gay guys always say if somebody doesn't like gays, then deep down inside it means they're gay. That's what
everybody's against therapy. Everybody's really opposed to looking inside the human psyche. Think of your human body as a Buick. Now, a Buick, there are certain things that come along with having a Buick. You have to change the oil, you have to change the tire. There are certain things that come along with the human body and the human psyche that are just truths. There are things that people don't want to look at, and whether they look at it or not doesn't make it any less true. You don't have to change your oil, but I'm telling you, you'll blow your engine out if you don't address that issue.
You mean if you have that kind of hatred in you?
Exactly. If you don't address these things, and with enough therapy and medication, it's not as difficult as it could have, as you people might think it is. It's not a big deal. This life it's my 10th grade teacher said, Rue, don't take life so seriously, and he was so right. I didn't understand it at the time, but I sure understand it now.
Now, your new show, Drag Race, which, by the way, Robin Williams used to do this joke years ago in his stand-up where he would say, this is a drag race, and then he would walk across the stage and do, make fun of, the gay voice and all that. Did you ever see that routine, Drag Race?
I don't remember it, no.
Well, as somebody just said, he probably stole it from somebody else.
He probably saw a different comic doing it before Robin got it.
So you've got this drag queen competition. What network is it on?
It's on Logo starting Monday night.
What's Logo?
Logo is the Viacom channel that is geared toward the gay and lesbian crowd.
The entire network is gay and lesbian?
I believe so, yeah.
That's out of 350 million people in the United States. What percentage do you think, let's just say there's a percentage that says they're gay or lesbian. Right. And then there's also going to be tons of people who watch that because they want to watch it for curiosity, and truck drivers and stuff that you, of course, are positive that have, the gayness trying to come out of them. But how many millions of people do you think are gay or lesbian? How many? How many do we have?
I'm not a numbers guy myself. I have no idea. I tell you, our show does appeal to anybody who likes great entertainment, and drag will never ever go away because
I agree.
People, people love it. And listen, as kids, as babies, we love sparkly, dangly, shiny things. That never changes whether we become Republican or not.
You love it. I like hearing you laugh, but you're laughing at stuff that I haven't found funny yet. But otherwise, it's great. But also, I think I speak for everybody, and I think they're thinking the same thing. Do you pee standing up?
You know what? I like to be sitting down. I like to sit, if I can take a load off, if I can sit down anytime, I'll sit down.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, I prefer to sit down if I have the choice.
What about, can I ask some sexual questions, if you don't mind, RuPaul?
Sure, just
now, wait a minute. Here's a homophobic guy. This is Shuley.
I am so not homophobic.
Oh, you are.
Oh,
that's why you're going to ask these questions.
Not at all. I just want to know.
RuPaul, you're going to hear it right now.
Pitch or catch, RuPaul?
It depends on whatever the client wants.
The client. All right. So you've done.
What would you charge for having? I mean, do you still charge for having sex? What kind of money?
God,
Not that I'm asking for myself, but
I wish.
A friend of ours wants to know.
Yeah, somebody, a truck driver we know wants to know.
Wouldn't that be great? God, I wish that were happening with me. I'm lucky if I could just give it away.
Now, can you stay with us another few more minutes?
Sure, I'd love
about
to.
Drag Race. All right, RuPaul is here. Go to RuPaul.com, RuPaulsDragRace.com. Go rush out and get the Logo Network because it'll start February the 2nd. That's next Monday night on Logo at 10 o'clock, and we'll find out what the competition is going to be. Shuli will ask his sexual questions.
Yeah, I got to know how much it is for a Pump the Professor.
Stay where you are, because next we get down to the sex. We get down to the nitty-gritty, and I think Shuli may be turned in this next segment of the Best of Jay Thomas.
Jay Thomas.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
It's all about the love. The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoons.
Indeed. Sirius XM 104.
I'm going to tell you right now, we'll change Shuli's name to Jew-Paul, okay? And then send him out. Go to jthomas.com, and you can email us, send us pictures, notes, whatever you want to do, and find out what's going on. We also put links to everybody that we've talked to, and hit the store. And our newest store, our newest T-shirt or mug or backpack or whatever, is The Power of Punani. The Power of Punani. And you can also give us all your suggestions at jthomas.com, and send us music if you want people to hear what you have played and no one else will listen to you. MP3 it to me, and Sean Kelly will take it off at jthomas.com. To find out where Shuli's going to be and all about Shuli, go to Jew Gone Wild. RuPaul is here, RuPaul.com. RuPaul's Drag Race will be on the Logo channel. And before we went away, Shuli, a total homophobe, was going to ask RuPaul some questions. Total.
How dare you. Now, I think I remember in past interviews you had talked about, I don't know if you did this, but how drag queens sometimes tape their schmeckle. with the tape, and I believe, I'm trying to be professional here, Jay, and I believe that they tape it like to their butt, kind of like going down,
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Now, my question, RuPaul, when you take the tape off, is it a quick motion? Do you go slow? What the hell is that like?
Well, some people tape if they're going to do a bathing suit where you really have to have an impeccable tuck everlasting. But for the most part, you can get away with just some tucking panties, which are very tight spandex panties that really you just hike up very high, and that allows for easy access.
See, I don't need to tape anything. I put on a woman's bathing suit. I look like a woman with a big clit, so big massive clit.
What is it? Labia? Is that I always say it wrong. A big labia.
The medical terminology is
now, RuPaul, you love dressing as a woman and everything, but yet you don't have the balls to have your balls cut off. I don't quite get that.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, why didn't you go the whole 9 yards? Yeah, the whole deal.
But that's not really the point. I don't want to be a woman. Dressing in drag is something I sort of fell into, and it did very well with it, and even the contestants on the show, it's a competition show. They're not there to be women. They're performers, and the show is pure entertainment. So it's something for everyone. But there are people who want to get their schmeckle, chopped off.
Thank you. Have you ever been with a woman?
No. You know what? I have not. I have that to look forward to in my life.
Do you think you'll ever try it?
What do you have in mind?
I don't know. I had told you I have a huge
Shuli
clit.
in one of those bathing suits, and you wouldn't even know.
I hope you
wouldn't be able to tell.
I hope you're into swollen clits.
Yeah. Now, I'm
kidding.
Now, RuPaul, do you know Eddie Izzard?
I've met
What do you think? They all have a clubhouse and hang out, Jay?
Eddie Izzard.
I'm a homophobe. That's awful, that question.
Eddie Izzard is one of my favorite. I love him. And so I was in Aspen a few years back at this comedy festival thing. So he does his show, and he comes, and he's got like a negligee on, and he's got like spandex pants and high heels and the whole thing, and he's completely made up. And he says, I'm a transvestite who's into women. and women apparently are all over this guy. What is that? Give us there's cross-dressing, there's transvestite, there's
That's
transsexual.
like the skinheads and the straight edge skinheads. Like there's skinheads that don't believe in racism. Like I don't get it. What's going on?
Yeah, what Eddie Izzard is a transvestite who likes to wear women's clothes, but he likes to sleep with women.
Yeah, actually, most transvestites are actually straight, and we have to also mention that Eddie Izzard is English, so that explains a lot there too. But
because they're kind of fruity to begin with, right?
Well, if you come from a repressed culture, your inkling is to try to bust out in another way. But the truth of the matter is, you live long enough, you realize that there's something for everyone on this planet, and if you're not hurting anybody, go ahead and do it, kiddo. If you're getting off on it, go for it. As long as you're not hurting anybody else.
What are some of the competitions that we're going to see when you do your drag race reality show?
Well, one of the funny ones is the girls have to chronicle Oprah's rise to fame in this media contest where they are thrown into a situation where they have to read a teleprompter for the news, pitch a product, and then do a celebrity interview all within 4 minutes with no prep.
You should add a round where they actually steal the idea from Phil Donahue.
You're killing RuPaul.
Thank you.
A lot of the audience probably don't even know who that is.
That's true. No. Phil Donahue, sure, they still remember. He's on one of the. He's on a dollar bill, isn't he? I think he's somewhere. We got him somewhere.
All of the challenges chronicle my own career from radio to music to fashion and beauty, all that stuff. They basically have to do everything that I've done in my career.
Well, then the ultimate challenge may be anal. I mean, if we're going to throw that in, and let me tell you, that's a challenge as well.
Well, listen, not for my contestants.
I can imagine waking up one morning and realizing, whatever age you're at, 14 or 15, well, you know what? When I look at men, that's what I want. But then to think of what I'm going to have to do to pursue that,
say hi to a guy? It's a lot easier.
No. But the sexual stuff, it does seem like it's a very painful way to go.
You know what? People have different degrees of what pain is. Some people feel it's more painful to keep a secret. But I would like to say that, most transvestites are straight. Now, I'm not talking about the girls you see on Hollywood Boulevard or whatever. I'm talking about the guys who do it in secret, because most people do. And our culture, unfortunately, has so much pressure on men, on straight men, to behave a certain way. I feel sorry for these guys, who can't express themselves. And, we're listening to the radio right now. Most people out there, whether they want to be gay or they want to do drag, whatever, don't follow their heart. Don't follow their dreams. And whether it's to be, I don't know, a dancer or to be a race car driver, it doesn't. Most people keep their mouths shut and don't say anything,
Life drags them along, doesn't it?
Life drags them on. You hear it every day. We've all done it at some level. We've all sort of played small. Well, the time of playing small is done.
Now, let me tell you, I know about both, and keeping a secret doesn't hurt nearly as much as anal. Thank you.
But isn't it a bitch dressing as a woman with all the makeup and having to get ready on time and all that? Whereas when you're a guy, you just, get up, you put your underwear on, you throw a suit on, and you're gone. I mean, do you really like all the stuff you have to do to dress as a woman?
Well, I do it professionally, so it's work for me. I don't do it outside of
really?
Work. No. But
you mean you don't get dressed as a woman and dance around your house to feel good?
No.
Like the truck drivers that are listening to all the time?
No, I don't. But
he may be into guys, but he is still a guy. Even he needs a break from a woman every now and then.
All right. Well, listen, RuPaul, go to RuPaul.com and RuPaul'sDragRace.com, and that'll be Monday night on the Logo channel if you have it in your, in your cable system. And
do I have to get a gay cable box for that?
Yes,
I don't know. I gotta watch it. Oh boy, it'll be one of those two headers that has the female and the male thing. Hey, RuPaul, great meeting you, and nice to know that Freddie Colon lived through working for both of us. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, RuPaul. Thank you
so much.
Wow, unbelievable, RuPaul.
Gay cable box with a Tom Selleck mustache.
He was so sensible.
He was good. He was a good sport.
But, he was sensible. It was like,
What are you trying to say? That gay people aren't sensible?
No. Oh, boy, don't start with me. Don't you, you little prick. Don't you turn this around on me.
Who's the homophobe now?
You little circumcised prick.
Slowly I turn.
Turn this around on me. No, what I was saying, what I meant to say. I'll have you hold out your wrist and I'll beat your wrist later on. No, what I meant to say was he's a businessman. He's, got the television show, was a disc jockey and the whole thing. And sometimes people come on and they're defensive right off the bat, Like, Richard Simmons.
Right.
Is defensive all the time. First of all.
About everything.
All of it. Making money off of big fat people.
Him getting fat.
And exactly, right? Now, he says he once weighed like 350 pounds or something like that. And I'm wondering, I don't ever think he weighed that much, but he says that I think he weighed 200 pounds at one time or whatever. And so if you ever, God forbid, you ever say he might be gay or something, he'll go crazy.
Yeah, but look at it this way. Yeah. You used to weigh 300 pounds. Now you weigh 180, but you're still 5'4". So, you're not exactly thin.
So long, Mr. The Jay Thomas Show.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoons. Sirius XM 104.
Why they coddle these criminals, I have no idea. Sheriff Joe, that we found a few years back, and now, of course, he's got his own reality show. If you haven't heard of him, they're in Maricopa, Arizona. You certainly are going to watch him now on this Fox reality channel. Smile, you're under arrest. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Sheriff Joe, welcome back to the Jay Thomas Show. Go to sheriffjoe.org. My friend Rodney Lee Conover is here. Sheriff Joe, how are you?
Yes, how are you?
Good. We spoke to you a long time ago, and I believe it was when you put some prisoners in pink outfits or something. What did you do that for?
Well, that was many years ago. It was pink underwear.
Yes, right.
Because they were stealing the white underwear, smuggling the underwear out of the jail. Decided to put them in pink. First of all, they don't like pink, at least in this county. And number two, it's easier to detect.
By the way, we understand that you listen to Sinatra 75.
Yes, on your satellite.
Good, thank you. Now, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name? Arpaio? Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio. Now, you've been there in Maricopa County, the sheriff, for how long?
Been 16 years, just got reelected for the fifth 4-year term.
Congratulations.
My big career was with the U.S. Drug Enforcement for 30 years, director in Mexico, Turkey, all over the place.
Now, you got a new reality show. And when they first came to you, did you right away say yes, or did you think about it, or what?
No, we thought about it to see how it would play. I did not want my organization to be embarrassed in any way, but we decided to go ahead with it, and it came out okay.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win for entertainment, and I believe it's a win-win for law enforcement.
So it's called America's Toughest Sheriff, and what network are we talking about?
Well, it's a Fox reality channel.
Sure. Wow, it's big.
It's Smile, you're under arrest.
But, I read here that you have had to pay out over the years millions of dollars in settlements, and I know that you can, inmates can sue and all that stuff, but the general population probably thinks what you do is okay. But yet, whenever you get into court, you seem to lose these battles against these convicts that you try and straighten up.
No, no, we win the battles when we get sued.
You do? Okay.
I get sued when I go to the toilet.
So you've been sued for millions, but you haven't lost millions.
We won 11 straight cases in court, thanks to the county attorney, Andrew Thomas, who gives us good lawyers to defend ourselves. So all this garbage about $40 million in lawsuits, I've been sheriff for 16 years.
Yeah.
And I believe we paid out about $30 million, $17 million was for the defense. So you can listen to all these critics, all these elected officials that don't like me because I'm enforcing the illegal immigration laws. They picket every day in front of my office, call me Nazi, Hitler, and now they're trying to say that we use the lawsuits as an excuse to get to me.
Now, my friend Rodney Lee Conover is here, and say hello to Sheriff Joe, Rodney.
Hi, Sheriff Joe. I'm a big fan, my friend.
We are big fans.
I hear that you are willing to take these Guantanamo losers if they shut down Guantanamo Bay.
You know what? We have 2,000 people in the tents here. It's 145 degrees in the summertime.
That might be comfortable for those guys.
Now, why are all these people complaining? They're federal prisons, and they treat them like the Hilton Hotel in federal prisons.
How long would they last in a typical U.S. American prison as compared to Guantanamo Bay?
It depends. If you put them in a federal prison, they'll get 2 steaks. So they'll last great in a federal prison.
Now, what would you do with the Gitmo detainees, as they say?
Well, what I would do, I would not put them in the tents for security reasons. We have jails here. We'll put them in the jails. Our meals are like 20 cents a meal. No coffee, no salt, no cigarettes, no porno, no TV except the Weather Channel. So that's what...
Now, Joe, Sheriff
Don't
Joe,
they have
by
pretty
the way.
good-looking chicks on the Weather Channel now, though?
They do. Now, Sheriff Joe, we're going to be watching the Fox reality channel, Smiley Under Arrest. For 20 cents a meal, I read it was $1.75 a day total. What can...
Where'd you get that at?
It's only 60 cents a day. How can you feed anybody for 20 cents a meal? What, don't you have some sort of dietary regulations you have to follow?
Yeah, we had 3,000 calories. We're down to 2,500. That's within the constitutional or whatever legal limits. But we go around, we go pick fruits, vegetables, we get donations, and we don't give them a steak or anything. They get their calories, no problem.
Aren't they supposed to have a protein? You can't have a protein on 20 cents a
No, we get a lot of donations. Pork, beans, peanut butter. I got to check the peanut butter.
You can buy a lot
of
of that
from Costco.
Yeah.
You get a lot of donations of peanut butter.
Hey, Joe, Sheriff Joe, sir, do you aspire to higher office? Please tell me yes.
No.
Damn it.
Why would I want to be the governor? I can lock the governor.
Screw the governor. Jump over them hurdles.
Senator.
Yeah.
Go back to Washington? I've been there 3 times.
Okay, well, listen.
Senators only have 3 employees. I got 4,000.
Getting a lot of work done in the House, are you?
Now, what are we going to see in some of these episodes? Are you going to use any actors or fake things, or it's all going to be the real prisoners? What are we going to see?
Oh, actually, you're going future. We've already done 3 episodes, and there are actors. Of course, I don't consider myself an actor.
Right.
And it was a great program. We arrested revolving 400 people wanted for outstanding warrants.
You mean you did a sting and got them all?
No, we didn't arrest the 400 at one time when they were posing for a fashion show for a Hollywood actor. That's what sucked them in to a central...
Oh, so you did a casting call?
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Why would the average idiot be sitting at home and he gets an anonymous letter, come to a casting call, and they showed up?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's an average idiot. You said idiot. I didn't think they were stupid and dumb. But they are kind of stupid. They come, think they're going to make $300, go through the scenario, and then at the last minute, our deputies say you're under arrest. Smile, and they do smile. Then they get on national TV. They don't care. They sign releases. They want to be shown.
Now, when we're watching these shows, they do put the squiggly lines, in front of people that don't sign the release. So, but when they find out they're part of a TV show, does that get these criminals excited?
Yeah, they all sign releases. We didn't have one person turn us down.
That's incredible.
Turn the producers down.
But isn't that because they get after scale? They get a little money.
They get $300.
Well, that can go toward...
More than I made when I was on O'Brien's show. They had to pay $390 for union. I don't know. That's the law. You have to pay.
Well, wait a minute now. But they go to jail. I mean, they're on television. They get $300, but they're still going to your jail, right?
Yes.
Right. So let's go to Dana of California, the Jay Thomas Show. Sheriff Joe is here. Smile. You're under arrest, the new reality show on Fox Reality. Dana, what's your question for Sheriff Joe?
Well, one, I love you, Sheriff Joe, and I wanted to know, I thought I read somewhere that you were saving dogs off of death row and having your inmates raise them, and if so, I wanted to say wonderful job, and I hope you continue to do that.
Inmates doing what?
Saving dogs.
Shelter dogs off of death row. I read that you were taking them out of the shelters that were going to euthanize them, and you were moving them in and having some of your inmates take care of them. Is that true?
Yeah, we have an old jail, and they were destroying the plumbing, so we kicked all the inmates out, threw them in the tents, the jail, dogs and cats. So we have dogs behind bars, but they're air-conditioned jail.
Oh, that's so great.
Now, wait a minute. Now the inmates are in 145-degree weather.
Right.
The dogs and the cats are now in the air-conditioned jail.
That's correct.
Oh, that's
and this costs $1 to feed the dogs, and it's about 60 cents a day.
Now, Dana, don't you feel sorry for these poor inmates that have to be, thrown in these hot tents?
No. I've been a victim of crime, and I think what he does is really, really awesome, and I think helping the animals, you should put that on your show, and I think the inmates learn. I think they learn a lot, and I think they should plant their own gardens, raise their own food, help the elderly, help the dogs. I think he's doing a wonderful thing.
In all seriousness, Sheriff Joe, don't the inmates learn some responsibility by taking care of an animal?
Well, we have inmates that take care of the animals 24 hours a day, female inmates. They learn. It's a two-way street, how to love each other. I'm talking about the animal and the female inmate. They learn how it works when they get out. I hope they can get a job in that type of industry. So it's a good program for the inmate and the animals.
Sheriff Joe, thank you. Smile, you're under arrest, the new reality show on Fox Reality. Sheriff Joe, we'll talk to you again. Always good. Thanks, and we appreciate you. And we are glad you don't torture them, but you treat them like shit, right?
By the way, can I ask you a question?
Well, we're about to go off the air. Can we do it right off the air?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'll put you on hold. You can ask me a question. Rodney, I'll talk to you later, man. It's been the Jay Thomas Show. Sean and Garrett, see you later. Bye. Go ahead, Joe.
Are you I got a great county attorney named Andrew Thomas. Are you any relation?
No, my Thomas is my middle name. I have a last name, and I just use Jay Thomas as like a stage name.
Oh, I would just one. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
You call me anytime.
Joe, we've talked to you before you were famous. This is great. You know, one thing I wanted to say, I couldn't because we ran out of time. But I mean, what's happening now is, are you finding that any of these education programs or any of the stuff that they're trying to do to prisoners is working at all?
Well, we have a drug prevention program, education program, in the jail. And it's a great course, after, a 6-month course. And then when they get out, we check them out for recidivism.
How's that going?
Well, going great. Only about 15% come back, where normally it could be 50, 60%. So that education program works in the jail, but because of the budget problem, these politicians want to cut our budget up to 20%. So I'm going to have to evaluate where to continue education programs in the jail.
Well, you need to cut that food budget. That's way over the top.
Well, you got any idea?
No more garnish.
Yeah, you know what? No, yeah, exactly,
You from California?
I live in California, but I'm from New Orleans. Rodney is in California. We're not in the same studio.
I went to Arizona State, though. So
Rodney, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Talk to the Terminator.
I will.
Because he's allowing all these illegals to go into California. And we used to send our trucks in there to pick fruits and vegetables free, but we can't do it anymore because I got big signs on the trucks. If you know any illegals, call the Sheriff Joe. Can't get any more donated fruits and vegetables. So if you got any hooks with the governor,
it's crazy because both Democrats and Republicans in this state have no desire to stop illegal immigration because Democrats want the votes and Republicans want the low-cost labor. And it is really a horrible problem here. It's bankrupting us.
We lock them up here.
Hey, how close are you? My son's going to go to Yavapai College in Prescott. You know Yavapai?
Well, it's a bordering county there. I think I have more people in jail than they have in the county.
All right. Well, Joe, I may drive over there when I'm visiting him at college, just to let you, put me in a tent one day, okay?
We'll take you on a tour.
Hey, man. Hey, Joe, thanks very much, and we will call you again. Thank you.
All right.
It's the Jay Thomas Regurgitation.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new, something bizarre for you for now. The Afternoon Drive Show.
On Indy. Sirius XM 104.
And on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
Lisa.
Hey, I'm glad to talk to you. It's been a while.
It has been. My buddy Rodney Lee Conover is here with me.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing?
Hey, buddy, what's happening?
Hey, Jay thinks the city of Santa Barbara is above you.
Really? Why?
Well, wait a minute. Let me do the plug, and then
he says, I can't imagine what they thought about her in Santa Barbara.
No, it wasn't Santa Barbara. It was Santa Rosa.
No, hold on a minute. Hold on.
Jay thought if you went to Santa Barbara, they wouldn't accept
Would you hold on a minute, please?
Actually, did. I sold out a big theater in Santa Barbara.
Yes, you did.
All
right, I'm going to ask her in a minute.
I told him, I said, Santa Barbara loves Lisa Lampanelli.
The HBO special, Long Live the Queen, will be on this Saturday night, the night before the Super Bowl, 10 o'clock, and her book, Chocolate Please, is hitting the bookstores. Now, here's what I said.
The book is chocolate?
Well, no, the book is called Chocolate Please. It's coming out in September, and it's about my love for the chocolate man. It kind of reads like, Schindler's List, but with a less happy ending.
Now, Lisa, you came to Santa Barbara. It might have been 8 months ago or whatever. You came to Santa Barbara, and I think we talked about it, and I said you're going to be in Santa Barbara, and I think the same night you're in town, I think Dana Carvey was across town, and I'm reading the paper, and I'm thinking, yeah, they're not so uptight here, but it's a very white, kind of retirement community. How did they receive you in Santa Barbara?
Well, no, that's the thing. When you play theaters, you attract your own audience. So all the degenerates, like, the people beneath us, white people, like the blacks and the Hispanics and the dirt faggots, they all came out. So if you're contracting your audience, they're going to receive you well. Like, you're not going to just stumble into my show, pay $30 and go, oh, my God, that's Bawdy and Ribbles. I want to go see Rita Rudner, that unfunny cunt. No,
that should be our show open.
By the way, you must realize that if you go to insultcomic.com or myspace.com/Lisa Lampanelli, you will find out where she's playing, and she's booked, good Lord, all over the United States. And if you haven't, Barbara. You know what? I asked one thing.
My gardener went to see her.
All right. Now listen. This Obama being elected, a lot of comics, white comics, are saying they can't make fun of this black president. Has that affected you at all?
Oh, come on, please. It hasn't affected me in the least. I still made fun of retards when Bush was in office. Ridiculous. Well, here's the deal with Obama. Yeah. I'm just mad at him for one thing, because did you see what a racist bastard this guy is? He has a black wife. How the fuck does that happen anymore? He should be with a chubby white bitch like me, and I will pull a Lewinsky for him anytime.
So the fact that he's half white, though, doesn't that really take away the whole African American thing?
Well, the fact that he has a job. I mean, please. Come on, this guy works for a living. That's very unlike the rest of the Pretty much, he's too white for me.
Now, who's better? Do you like black football players or black basketball players? Have you tested all the sports?
Well, actually, I just tested out a Chicago Bear, and I tested out a retired San Diego Charger. And always get yourself a retired athlete, ladies, because their spirit's already broken, so you don't have to do that while you're dating them. So, do like the chocolate love of the football players. I have not yet experimented with basketball, but it's not beneath me.
And you also told me last time we talked that you were going to therapy. And I said, is that imperative, because you've got a wonderful act and we accept you and everything else? I mean, I'm afraid they're going to talk you out of your act, Oh,
no. I keep getting edgier the more therapy I get. Because what happens is you get more and more confident, so you could say more and more stuff. I'd like to say thank you to my Jew bastard therapist who actually gave me the courage to say the N-word. So thank you, Dr. Jew.
You mean he said to you in therapy, it's okay to speak the way you want to speak?
Exactly. He says, total acceptance of yourself. Be yourself. You know your intention behind the words. Do what you do. Now give you my $200 an hour, you whore.
Go to HBO special, Long Live the Queen, Saturday, this Saturday night, the 31st, 10 o'clock. And then the book, Chocolate Please, is coming out. You know, I've never asked anybody this, and maybe this is rude, but do you get a lot of money for an HBO special, or is it just the promotion?
No, you get a lot of money.
You do?
The first time you get really good, and I'm sure by the time you get like 8 like Carlin did, you get damn good money. So, you know, like fuck you money. But I suppose I have to get great ratings for this, and hopefully by the next time when I tape my next one, they'll be like, here's $1 million, you twat.
So from your website, one of the things I love to ask you, buddy, you have all this advice for people. One of them is how to be a better black.
Yes, yes. Well, you have to, as you know, there are many black traits. You have to be late for everything. I hope you know that. Yeah. You also have to order all your soft drinks with no ice, because ice is Whitey's way of cheating you out of a delicious 8 ounces of beverage. So I feel I can educate the masses with all my wisdom.
And do you have how to be a better Asian, too? Do you cover all?
Yes, I do. Yes, at insult.com. I have Asian, even cornholer. Because sometimes the fags don't know how to be good fags, you know? The thing is, good faggots are the type who showed up at my special wearing tiaras and boas. Now, that's a good homo. Don't come in trying to look all butch because you're sucking dick and you're not going to be able to hide it, please.
And how to be a better Italian is also there?
Yes, yes, and also, what else? Probably Irish donkey. Oh, a Jew bastard. You know, aren't you a dirty Hebe, Jay?
No, I'm actually half Sicilian, and my dad was English and German, and I'm from Louisiana, so I sound like I'm, and I played Jews on TV. I made a lot of money, but no, I'm not. But it worked for me, but no, I'm not.
I did, sure did. I always thought you were Jewing it up as Carla's husband. I really did.
No, I was playing a Canadian hockey player. I wasn't playing a Jew.
I know. Well, how about this? Tell me this.
You know what pisses me off? You missed the whole thing I was doing. I was playing a Canadian French hockey player, and you watched it and thought I was, what, a Jew hockey player? It's impossible.
Look, all I judged was your enormous nose, okay?
That's all you saw.
All I saw was your enormous nose and really annoying voice, and I said, that's a Jew. That's a money-grubbing Hebe for you. But I've been corrected, so I apologize.
Have you ever had anybody come up after your show and say, I know you make jokes, this is the first night we've seen you live or whatever, and I'm really insulted by what you said? Have you ever had that?
Well, years ago, you know, when I used to play clubs and you're an unknown and people just wander in. But now that it's at this stage, you know, people know what they're getting when they come in. They don't expect to see that loser dyke Sandra Bernhard or some of those weird psychotic women who talk about their PMS and their dating. I mean, if I want to see a big mouth bitch, I stay home with my wife. And you know what I'm saying, Jay?
All right. How is your love life? What is happening for Lisa Lampanelli?
Well, I started dating again because I took a year off because I wanted to let my twat heal. So I said to myself, let me take a year off. And now I'm dating men who are a little bit above the ones I used to. These are very handsome. They have jobs that are good. It's not working out with anyone yet, but I have a good feeling about the future.
Now you're a kind of a rough woman. I mean, you don't take any guff from anybody. I would think there might have been a little lesbianism in you. Have you ever been with a woman?
I wish. Here's the deal. Yeah. I have the hottest looking women hit on me after shows, so I have hot women hitting on me or ugly guys. So I'm like, I wish I was just on the tuna boat, and then I could capitalize on some hot pieces of ass.
But you won't even try it? You won't try it?
No, it's weird. Every time I think about licking it, I almost skeeve.
And then you'd have to wear the clothes, too. You'd have to wear the checkered shirt and the blue jeans and cut the hair short and all that stuff.
I know. I'd have to get the mullet that looks like a pigeon.
Lisa Lampanelli, Long Live the Queen, this Saturday night, Chocolate Please. What are you spending your money on? I know you're doing great. Have you bought a big house, cars? Letterman has all the sports cars. Leno has all the cars. What are you buying? Anything?
Well, I don't like to brag, Jay, but I own 2 houses and I have 2 Toyota Camrys with rims, okay? So I think I'm pretty wealthy, all right? I'm a pretty big shot.
Now, I'm going to go back to this, but you're telling me when you came to uptight Santa Barbara, you were completely accepted. I know you were in the big theater, completely accepted, and I guess I'm shocked by that. I really am. I'm not kidding.
Well, I believe so. I mean, because everybody hugged me afterwards and bought stuff. Maybe there was the random person who was like, oh, my God, that was too much. But then again, I do have my assistant delete all my hate mail just so I'm deluded enough to thinking everybody's in love with me. So I'll ask her to get those deleted files and let you know.
So do you think a lot of these comics, should be frightened of making fun of Barack Obama? I think, he's the president, you can say, but you don't have to go racist on him. But are you reading any of this stuff that comics say that they're actually, the guts are come out, they're afraid they're going to say something and they're going to get in trouble with black people and all that stuff?
Yeah, I absolutely think you're right, because the Washington Post interviewed me about that, and they're like, all the comics are saying like they don't know what they're going to do, and I'm like, you don't have to go and call him the N-word, but if he does something stupid, eventually you're going to have to point it out, or that's just total racism by leaving someone out. In other words, they were quick to point out what a douchebag Bush was because he was a white guy with a different accent. So it's like, dude, if this guy screws up, you're going to have to point it out in a funny way.
Well, yesterday he couldn't find the door to the White House. Did you see that? He couldn't figure out how to. Bush did the same thing. He couldn't figure out where the door was.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Note to self, right? Dumb colored joke about Obama.
Well, Jay got mad at me, Lisa, because I said that's because they let Bush come in the front door.
I have to agree with you.
Jay got all uppity with me. Oh,
I didn't get uppity with you.
They don't say that in Santa Barbara.
My goodness. Whatever shall we do? Well,
Lisa Lampanelli, go to InsultComic.com or go on her MySpace /Lisa Lampanelli. Saturday night, Long Live the Queen on HBO. Coming out soon. Chocolate, please. Hitting the bookstores. She's all over the place. Don't go to too much therapy, please, okay?
I won't, dude. I'll stay chubby, and I'll stay a little mentally ill for you.
Yeah. They make a lot of money on people trying to fix them, and you're fine, okay?
Thank you. I love you guys, and thanks for having me on.
Hua. You say it better than I do. How do you say it, Garrett? Hua. All right. The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas. The Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show.
Indy.
Sirius XM 104. And on the Sirius XM app for smartphones.
83 years old. Went to the inauguration. Greatest day of his life. Danced so much. Missed the bus. The Jay Thomas Show.
But I go dancing every night. Hoping one day I might get it right. I'm a dancing fool.
Frank Zappa. Yeah. Dancing fool. Go to jthomas.com. Our newest t-shirt for 2009 is Power of Punani. It's available to you there. Sean, what are we selling the shirt for? How much are we asking?
Well, it depends on the size and the color and whether it's made in the USA and if it's organic and all that stuff.
Wow, there's so many choices. And you can have a mug, you can make a clock out of it if you want to. A
shirt could end up costing you $7,000.
Yeah, you could make a dog sweater out of it, whatever you want. So the whole thing. Let's welcome Mr. Musa Muhammad to the Jay Thomas Show with Shirley. Musa, Mr. Muhammad, how are you, sir?
Well, last time I checked, I'm feeling good. I'm home now.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, you must have been so excited that Barack Obama becomes the president of the United States. You get in a bus. And how many hours did you spend in that bus heading to Washington, D.C.?
Well, I think we left here at 5 in the morning. We got there about 6 in the afternoon.
Wow. 12 hours.
Long ride.
Yes, that was a long ride.
Do you get a lot of pee breaks?
We didn't get but one pee break.
Oh, my God. Straight through?
Oh yeah. We wanted to be there. They said you have to be there so we get a good parking place.
Well,
so we did get a good parking place. But
now you got there the day before the inauguration, or?
We got there on the morning that it was going to be. We got there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God! So it's almost 24 hours in the bus.
Right.
And you still found a good parking spot, huh?
Wow.
Well, we found a good parking spot, but there's so many people there, and so many buses look alike, you'd miss them.
Right.
And so that's what happened.
So you get there, and before we get to the whole big story, how close did you get to President Obama?
Well, about, I'd say about a block and a half, because it was so close. It was
wow.
About a block and a half.
And you see him walking and waving. You think he saw you waving at him?
Well, so many hands in the air, you don't know what hand is there.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on, so that's it. But it's a great thing, and he's become the president and all of that. And so then you start dancing. Where were you doing all this dancing that got you into trouble?
Well, there was a spot out there, and there was a vacancy, and they had a great big camera-looking thing up in the air, where they had it looked like a television picture, and they changed the talking and put music on it. And when the music got on, it just got to me, and I just started getting down.
Well, what kind of music was it?
Well, it was jazz.
Just cool jazz.
Yes,
and
cool.
So you start dancing,
yes.
And then the report is that you danced so much that you missed your bus home.
Yeah, I danced so much I missed the people that I was with. And I didn't know how to get back to the bus.
It said you danced for 5 hours.
Well, not quite 5 hours. I danced as much as I could. I mean, it could have been 5 hours because I couldn't feel no tightness.
Right. Now, how old are you, sir?
I'm 83.
83 years old, and you were dancing for 5 hours. Have you always been named Musa Muhammad, or did you change your name when you were a black Muslim?
Well, I changed my name. My name is always Musa means Moses.
Right.
And
but I mean, did you become a Muslim years ago? As
part of a long time ago.
Right. What was your Christian name at first?
My Christian name was Moses Dilworth.
Moses Dilworth.
Right.
Become Musa Muhammad. I like Musa Muhammad. And what about the wide receiver from the Bears? He's Musa Muhammad too, isn't he?
Yes, I think he is.
Oh, yeah, he was a great wide receiver. So now you're dancing and you're looking, and all of a sudden you look around and you don't see anybody you know.
I don't see anybody I know, but I saw two girls, two Caucasians and an African American. They wanted to get in there and dance with me, so I didn't worry about the bus too much then. I was just enjoying dancing.
Yeah.
So I just started getting down with all three of them.
Right.
You were doing like an Oreo cookie kind of a thing, right?
Oh, I don't know. I was just spinning and going and going. I didn't get tired. It was just so good to me. Just looked like I was floating in the air there.
So then you're lost now, and now what?
Now I'm trying to find a way to get back. So I got a cab, told the cab driver where my bus was parked. So I got the cab, and he charged me $15 about 3 blocks.
Okay.
We got there, the bus was gone. He brought me back, then I got another cab to take me to the train station. Got to the train station, so you couldn't get to the door. So he left it. That cost me $50. That cost me. So
wait, $15 one way in the cab. Then he took you back, and now another $50. So you're $80 out already.
$85 out.
$85.
I'm $85 out. Now I'm trying to get to a bus station, so I saw a policeman, and he told me where the Greyhound bus station was. So I walked down there and got me a ticket at the Greyhound bus station. Got on that bus when it got ready to go and headed this way. And you know something? Wasn't no heat on it.
There was no heat on the Greyhound bus.
No heat on it.
So how much did it cost you to buy the original bus ticket to Washington, D.C.?
$130.
And then how much did it cost you to get back home?
Well, it cost me $85 for the cab and $150 for the train station.
Wow. So $230 so almost $500 you spent.
Almost.
Right. And you must be rolling in money.
No, not rolling in money, but I'm just a hard worker.
Yeah, so you're able to do it. Well, and you got back home, and did you carry a cell phone?
I have a cell phone, but we wasn't supposed to let it ring on our bus. We wasn't supposed to use it on the bus. I could hear it vibe, but I couldn't call it until I got off, and that was my wife trying to call me.
Now, wait a minute. Why wouldn't they let you use a cell phone on the bus?
I don't know, but he told us when we got on, we don't want, if you got a cell phone, you got to talk, keep it on a low level. We don't want it ringing. We don't want you talking on it. Because We want to hear what's going on.
I see. So, the Greyhound bus. It sounds like to me the bus driver didn't like people talking on the telephone, Shuli.
Well, he was almost froze too because there wasn't no heat on there.
There was no, so he was in a bad mood also. Okay. Well, Mr. Muhammad, what does it mean to you that Barack Obama has been elected president?
Besides 5 hours of dancing.
Yeah, besides the dancing and all that. What does it mean to you as an African American? And God knows you've been through, all kind of nonsense.
Well, it makes me feel good because I came from the cotton field down in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And I picked cotton, and I didn't know what electrolyte was. I didn't know what a pump was. We had to pump our water. And I just felt good that he was making history as African American becoming the president of the United States. And I wanted to go there if I had to walk, but I just got there.
You almost did have to walk home, didn't you?
I almost did, but
almost had to go home. And so now the fact that he is in there now and everything else and so do you think that this is going to change the way that white and black Americans deal with each other?
Well, now, if you want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm. The truth. I want to hear the whole truth.
You want to hear the truth. Is it snowing up there where you at now?
Yeah. No, I'm in California. They're back in New York.
And yes, it's snowing in New York. So.
And where I am, it's 80 degrees. Where they are, what is it, 25 or something stupid like that? Yeah. So we're all over the country. So, and you're in South Bend, Indiana?
I'm in South Bend, Indiana.
Yes, sir. So go ahead.
All right. Now, see, the God is talking to us now. You want me to tell you the truth? God is talking to you. Everywhere you look, you see whole plantation, whole field, on top of buildings, on top of everything, snow, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And that snow is what color?
White.
All right, white. And when it comes dark, you look through the air, what do you see? You see blackness, don't you?
Yes.
All right, now, when you walk out there and put your hand in that snow, I had on a suit of clothes. My suit was made one while complete black, one while complete white. Because that was telling me that there's no white and there's no black. God created us human beings. And I'm just as much human being as you are. There's no hate and no nothing in me. I just love people. But I found out that and it don't bother me no more. That snow is telling you trouble that God telling you, shut up, devil, leave them people alone, because I didn't create you white. I didn't create you black. I created you a human being. Did you get that?
Yes, I got it. Thank you so much. Mr. Musa Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. I mean this. I know that this means that anybody can become the president of the United States. It's true. But I will tell you, those kids let's just take the black kids first.
Go ahead.
The pants going down, showing the crack of their butt, all of that stuff.
Yes.
And the nasty, all of that. They're and all acting crazy. They're not going to make it. The white kids and the white people with the mohawks and with the nails stuck in their nose and with the things at the end of the day, you kind of have to. You notice that Barack Obama wears a beautiful suit, a tie, and a coat.
Yes.
He speaks the King's English. You speak the King's English. So the thing is what makes some people mad is they have to conform. And I don't know if it's conform to the white man or just conform to the way people think you ought to speak and act. And I don't think it makes any difference whether you're black, white, or Hispanic or whatever. Do you feel as though that you kind of have to act like you're going, going to Sunday meeting? And that's what people are impressed by also. Don't you think? A lot of kids are radicals and a lot of people are saying, why can't I make it? And I look at them and I say, I think it's because of the way you look sometimes, whether you're black or white. You're dressed in some crazy outfit, and that's why you're not going to make it.
Okay, you want me to give it to you?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
You got a wife. If we don't respect our women, the so-called white and the so-called black.
Right.
They were the first teachers of all human creatures. The woman, the so-called white woman, you come out of her womb, I come out to the black woman's womb. They scream to the top of their voice, but when they come out, they begin to teach us. We're taking that teacher away from them. They don't let them teach the children anymore. They have to work to keep them. My woman don't have to work, but she don't have to work. Because she is the first teacher of all human creatures. That is why they walk around showing their butts with calling themselves swagging. The Caucasian kids and the African-American kids. Both of them you're looking up in their buttholes because they're swagging. The mamas ain't got a time to teach them because mama haven't been given a chance. She's calling everything but what God made her. Mary brought Jesus here out of her womb. Mm-hmm. And Jesus, everybody stand up in the church and holler, hallelujah, hollering at Jesus, but they still don't respect Mary.
Now, wait a second. Now, Musa Muhammad, my friend Shuli here is from Israel, and he's Jewish. Now, what do you have to say to him?
I want to tell them he came out of a mother's womb, too. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Jewish man, your mother was a woman, and when you come to her womb, she carried you 9 months in her belly. And when the 9 months come, she screamed to the top of her voice until you come out. And when you come out, first thing she want to do, let mama see the baby. And when the baby got in the arm, she put the tit in your mouth, and you began to suck. Hello.
It's a family show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Musa Muhammad danced so long, he missed the bus, but he's so excited. And I think we all agree, don't show your butthole. If I just get a quick capsule, don't show your butthole. And white or black, you need to, dress in a respectful way. And I think
that's right.
Get anything you want in this country and respect women.
And, and I think the world is a better place if everybody has a little titty in their mouth. Am I right?
You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
there
sir.
You go.
Thank you.
Well, Musa Muhammad, we love having you on, and we are so excited that. And by the way, what is your what is your secret to long life? You're in great shape. You can dance for 5 hours. You walk for miles and blocks. And do you have a young wife or a wife that you're
My wife is 65 years old, and we don't hump and grunt every night.
You don't. I understand.
No, we might go 3 or 4 months before I get up there and give me some hump. And when I get a hump, she goes to take a bath, and I take a bath. She lay in my arm, and we might not see it no more in about 3 or 4 months. And we're going on about our business. And she looks like a queen, too.
I bet she does.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so what is your secret? Everyone's listening. You're 83 years old. What is Musa Muhammad's secret to long and good life? We have 60 seconds. What's your secret?
Okay, 60 seconds is I don't drink. I don't chase women. I dance. I eat the right type of food. And I respect the woman that bore me, my mother and the wife I got.
Ladies and gentlemen, Musa Muhammad. It cost him almost $500 to get home, but it was worth it. Mr. Muhammad, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
It was a pleasure to talk to you, too.
You should respect anyone who you've come out of and you made them scream for 2 hours. It's the Jay Thomas Show.